Thing is a GDQ Hotfix show all about Hermson speedruns and completionist categories in general. I'm your host, Mr. Arnold Shasta, and I'd like to welcome you to a run that I want to have on for a long time, good old Metroid Dread. But yeah, before we get to that though, let me actually explain what today's show is essentially. So all three runs you're going to see today are all on the SGDQ backup list. And they all fit my show theme in the end, and honestly they all fit the same sort of general theme overall. Like Metroid Dread's a 2D platformer, Cavern of Dreams is a 3D platformer, and Kain Soul Reaver is like an action-adventure game, but it's very much 3D and you do some platforming and stuff, so I think it all works out, honestly, even still. It's sick. All these runs are really awesome. The whole backup list of SGDQ was like, it could be its own marathon of how good it was. I'm happy to show it. I'm happy to give you all three runs today from that selection. So, without further ado, let's get into it. What's up, Hobbit? How you doing tonight?
I'm doing pretty good. Thank you for having me on. I'm honored to be back on Hotfix again. Here to run all bosses unrestricted. For those who don't know me, I'm Hobbit. I'm an unrestricted runner in the Dread community. But yeah, I'm joined here by the one and only Charlotte Arena and Mr. Miguel. If you all would like to go ahead and introduce yourselves and then count me down when you're done.
What's up, everybody?
Hi.
Amazing introduction. I'm also an unrestricted runner. I'm particularly fond of any percent, though I haven't done much runs lately ever since I got the Switch 2. I've been wanting to get into runs more lately. It's in my backlog. So
I'm a low percent runner, so I do weird things and skip items, which is kind of the opposite of this show.
So we got the any percent runner and the low percent runner. So clearly we're the best fit for the category where we do a lot of stuff.
We got the whole spectrum here, I guess, of Dread runners. I kind of like that.
Exactly. We do all of the different things.
Yeah. There we go.
I guess without further ado, we can start. Hobbit, take it away. Oh, actually, we're going to do a countdown.
Yeah, count me down.
All right, I'll do it. All right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Fast.
Going fast. Gaming.
Yeah. Gaming.
Chaos.
Shout outs to Deltarune. Shout outs to Shay Deltarune. Amazing run at the end of SGDQ. But I'm going to leave a lot of the talking to my commentators here because Dread is actually very trick dense in early game now. So now that we are actually getting into the run, I'll pass the mic over to Charlotte and Miguel to kind of go over the basics of the run.
Yeah, so some of the basic movement foundations that you're going to see throughout this run. One is quick rise. Essentially, anytime Samus is jumping up towards a ledge, if you tap the jump button, she'll quickly rise over that ledge rather than hanging from it or grabbing it. The shorter you press the button, the smaller the jump you do, and because Samus moves faster on the ground than she does in the air, you want to make sure that all of those hops are as small as possible, unless you're doing a ledge-to-ledge, which you saw Hobbit do there near the bottom. He went for another one closer to the top, but missed it, unfortunately. And this is the first boss we're already onto. This is the Broken Emmy, or the Proto-Emmy. It's pretty simple. It's basically an auto-scroller.
I kind of realized that all bosses doesn't include this Emmy here too. We used to see this skip 8%.
Every single Emmy counts as a boss.
If you were to unlock the FPS in here, you would clip out of bounds during that slow motion slide.
Yeah, you can also get a glitchy game state called slow slide if you quit out during the slide animation.
Oh, yeah.
Well, unfortunately, we can't do that on console.
All right, one boss down. Everybody hear it for one boss down.
29 more!
Yeah.
29.
So all the bosses that are going to count here are Emmys, central units, major bosses, soldiers, and robots, essentially. So if you like counting, this is a great run for it.
Now, coming up next, we're going to be seeing something called the Seam Pseudo. Pseudo is short for Pseudo Wave, which is, there's the wave beam in this game.
Oh my gosh.
Very good, first try.
Very nice.
And yeah, basically, it's different ways that we can shoot through the geometry. But now we're going to see a much more difficult trick called Emmy Boost or Big Artaria Skip. And basically, Hobbit is going to manipulate the Emmy in this section into a very specific position so that he can jump over it. And that's going to set up for it to crawl along the ceiling, which will allow him to bonk on it and then grab the ledge. Unfortunately, it's a very tight jump, so he's going to have to do another try.
Oh,
And yeah, if
Careful.
you don't jump at the right
Jeez.
time,
Oh.
it'll just like try and go underneath you, but you want to manipulate it to go over you. Good
Gamer?
counter.
Good counter.
Unfortunately,
Gotta reset.
this still puts him in a bit of a situation. Okay, there we go.
alright.
Lost a little bit of height there. Yeah, it's a very, very tricky jump here.
The nice thing is that because you already countered it, don't you not need to counter it now?
Oh wow!
So the reason that we need to do a counter there is because on the very first enemy encounter, the alarm will stay on forever until you reach that very end of the section of the room where like you slide through a tunnel and the enemy can't catch you, so it just like retreats. But the doors are, since it stays forever, the alarm, the doors get locked permanently forever until it catches you. So the only way to unlock the doors is to counter the enemy, which is what Hobbit will do once he gets up there.
Oh geez, I finally got him buffer jump.
He got greedy.
Getting all the counters outside of the one that I need, unfortunately, but that's okay. This is kind of like the major early game, like, before.
Okay.
There we go, we're getting up there.
I believe it. This is the one.
Ah, jeez.
Dude. Oh.
It's tough.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
this saves about a minute through Artaria. Normally, you would just like, after you do the Seam Pseudo, you would go and fight Corpius, but this allows you to skip a very large portion of this intro section, including skipping one of the Atom stations that you would normally talk to, which would allow you to skip every Atom room for the entire run after that.
Yeah, this is a very, very, like, really big skip, so it's worth doing it. I think it still saves time even if you fail it once. So, we're gonna...
Oh, I would believe that, yeah.
Let Hobbit. There we go.
Ooh.
Emmy, what
Oh,
are
I
you
fell
doing?
off.
Oh,
It's
I
okay.
didn't even know it could do that.
Yeah, if you run off the edge by accident, then it's just... You gotta reset it. Unfortunately, it's a very, like... There we go. Alright, let's lock in. There we go.
There we go.
And we got it. We're finally out of it. You got you with a really fast one there at the start. So
Yeah,
it
but-
can get pretty. The enemy pairs can get really brutal. We try to never almost try to put like required enemy pairs in the speedrun, like in a run, because for this exact same reason. But for this one, it's required. Fortunately, it's at the very start of the run. For speedruns, we can just like reset if we don't get it. But yeah, let's just get to charge being super early. We get to skip talking to one of the Atom cutscenes. That makes it so if you skip the first ones, the ones that come afterwards will never trigger. So Atom will never lock the doors, and you can just zoom in and keep going forward.
Yeah, there's
So
an
in this
Atom...
case, you can't unrun the enemy there. That's why I have to parry it. Is that the case?
Yep.
Yeah.
As I
Makes
explained
sense.
earlier, the doors stay locked forever, so you have to pair the enemy so it opens the doors. You're gonna say,
Yeah,
Charlotte?
so if you recall from like the vanilla tutorial, you slide through that little hole into the water. That is the trigger for un-aggroing the enemy. So you just kind of get put in that position, unfortunately. And if you get caught again, it locks again. You have to parry it again. Fortunately, on
Beautiful
Switch
second
2,
descent.
Fortunately, on Switch 2, it doesn't drop frames when the enemy's looking for you nearly as badly, so your jump height is not shortened by the enemy dropping the frame rate.
Give it up for boss number 2. This is going to be Corpius. One of the big things we're looking for here is if you can get what's something called headlock in the first section, that'll be really good. Unfortunately, did not
Oh?
do the attack pattern, but
Oh.
if it had done the like vomit attack there, it would be in this invisible phase. Its head would be down the entire time. And with rookie mode, you have actually enough missiles that if you hit, I think it's 23 of them in this invisible section, then you don't need a phase shift. But unfortunately, you missed a few more.
It's okay.
Oh,
We can
geez, I
just
got the
sweep all the
counter by
shots.
accident.
It's a cool animation. We did it to show it off. Of
They're
course.
so cool.
Yeah, it's just unfortunate that it acts as your DPS, but that's okay. He should die.
And that's boss number 2.
Funny enough, that happened to me in practice right before this too, so I'm not surprised that it happened again. I got greedy and tried to get the charge shot and jump away.
28 more.
Yeah, shout out to the counters in chat. Whoever you are, please keep counting.
Oh, I forgot to have chat open.
So now, essentially, because we have charge beam, we can actually just do this whole loop only one time instead of twice, and it completely cuts out the western side of Cataris, which also completely skips the water slope skip on the west side of Artaria before charge beam. Did I say Cataris?
Yeah.
You said Cataris.
I apologize.
That's okay. So the big, we've gotten 2 items, and I'd just like to quickly explain like the basic tech for both of those. For the cloak, the phantom cloak, whenever you get the chance to go through a cloak door, you don't want to just cloak and walk through it because that's really slow. Samus like tiptoes when she has the cloak, so you try to do a slide or a melee through it and then activate the cloak mid-motion. And for the charge beam, the big tech is that if you do a spin jump or a respin, it'll charge much faster than if you just waited for it to charge normally. So we call it the quick charge, and you're going to be seeing that a lot, especially in some of the later boss fights, to kind of combine DPS with missiles and charge beam.
And right here is the one and only Adam encounter that we'll see in the game. So right now there's 2 Adam encounters at the same time. So we've talked to the first one, but it unlocks the doors at the end, so we don't need to talk to him again. If we were to enter that room again, it would trigger the second Adam talk in that room, and it will lock the doors again, but we are not going to do that. So instead, we're just going to get out and never talk to Adam ever again. Actually, there's like one and only. There were like 2. There weren't.
There's the one that's completely
Sure.
unskippable.
Now this is boss number 3. This is the central units. They're pretty simple boss fights. You just pelt it with missiles until its shell breaks, and then you can use normal beam and missiles. And so he's actually going to be weaving missiles and normal shots together to double his DPS effectively. And then also he's going to be, with the Omega Stream, every time the first shot in the stream happens, it actually does a little bit more damage than the rest of the shots. So by using Turbo to make the first shot happen over and over again rapidly, it actually increases DPS quite drastically on the Omega Stream.
And it allows us to do silly stress like this one.
Yeah, so that's bosses 3 and 4 down.
Yeah, that right there was something we like to call plant kill. We basically just get over the ledge there where the enemy is coming from, and we plant our feet on the ground, and we never move, like a plant.
Yep, and this gives us the spider magnet, which is pretty useful for traversing around in the early game areas. It's kind of like one of the only like movement options you get early. It does allow you to turn Samus upside down on the upcoming magnet door, but that wastes a lot of time, so I'll note it as we walk by. But just know that I could be 180 degrees upside down.
It's one of the least useful
potentially
glitch states we've ever found, but it is very funny.
Yeah, so if you grab that magnet door while it's falling and then jump off, you will turn upside down, and it completely flips your y-axis. It looks very, very silly.
We didn't get to see it though. Alright, so now that we have Phantom Cloak, we can go to Cataris. Super early. You notice that we didn't even go to the left side section of Artaria because we did the early charge beam stuff, so we skipped the whole like going around. Right here, we're gonna do a small little skip with the pliers, I believe their name, damage boost. Oop.
Yeah, so unfortunately he missed the setup a little bit, so gonna need to smack this ply out of the way, and then hopefully get it to attack him right. Yep, there we go.
Just like that.
Yeah, sometimes you have to get a little creative, unfortunately. Usually that setup works pretty good. I think sometimes I don't jump high enough or jump long enough so that the ply doesn't fly up, because sometimes it chooses to fly down instead of flying up.
Alright, so
you can make it work.
Now we're going to elevator's Cataris.
Things that hit you just like cause you to go flying so much more. So that's how that D-boost works.
So now we get downtime, a little bit of downtime during elevators. Fortunately, we're on Switch 2, so loads are like super fast.
Shout out to the Switch 2.
On average, something like 7 or 8 seconds. It's
I love
wild
my
time
400. I love my $450 time save.
Yippee!
Skipping this Adam because we don't need to talk to him anymore.
Yep.
Me and Adam are no longer friends. My friend is now. Actually, no, we have not met friend yet. You'll see friend in the future.
Yeah, Samus has a lot of friends in this run that help her do a lot of stuff. We're getting very close to a certain green friend in the Emmy zone that is quite infamous in Unrestricted.
Yeah, so you might remember how we said we don't want to use, like, we try to, like, not route in Emmy counters if you can help it. There is going to be another Emmy counter in Caterus here. This green Emmy is going to have us, going to help us do a fun little party trick.
Yeah, but except that this time, we are not gonna have to do a super precise parry. You'll see what happens soon. It's gonna be really interesting. But for now, we're just gonna go through the normal route.
Yep, I'm pre-opening that door for something later.
Heated area, even though we're taking damage over time, we can actually just go through this before we die, and it's takes about 2 seconds.
Didn't even lose over 99 health. What a gamer. So here's another missile pseudo. This is found relatively recently, except that okay, maybe not that recently, but it was one of the latest things that got found in this game, right along with the Yemi warp stuff. Come on, one more shot.
There we go.
There we go.
It was found to replace an original Emmy warp at the door down to the right of us. But now because of the seam pseudo, we can just kind of skip up this way.
Thankfully, like I did not like that Emmy warp. Like we used to do 2 Emmy warps. Can you imagine how awful would that be?
D-boost here.
Right, so here's this D-boost. See if we get it.
Almost.
Oh wait, I think that could have worked. Oh, it's okay.
The plies are just really not like me.
Yeah, they're for blood today.
Not friend today for sure.
Yeah, this is a room we didn't go to for a really long time in the course of Dread, because as soon as we found Adam Skip, shout out to ADM, we no longer needed to route through this room because this was the Adam that we abandoned. Oops.
All right, so now for the big skip. This is Emmy warp. So right now we're gonna.
Oh shoot! Hold on. Stop throwing. There we go.
Okay, so we're gonna touch the Emmy door, but not actually go through it, and then we're gonna aggro the Emmy.
Oh jeez.
Oh, were you not meant to do that?
I did not want to. I don't want to alert the Emmy. I want to keep the Emmy.
Okay, so we're gonna do a different setup that doesn't aggro the Emmy. So touch the door, but not actually go through it. That was quite an unfortunate Emmy position. So now we're gonna go here and cloak. So to lure the Emmy down, the Emmy is gonna go check the door, see that there's nothing there. Really, nothing's here. Totally. Anyway, and then it keeps going forward, and it's gonna go through the door. Then we're gonna jump over here, so the Emmy goes back to make the Emmy go. Maybe I forgot to check something. I'll go back, and then it's gonna show up on the map. There he is.
Red dot, that's the Emmy.
So now we're gonna go forward and we are warped with the Emmy. Unfortunately, we did not get the correct position. So when we touch the door at the start, it makes it so when we go through a different room, when we transition to a different room, once inside, the Emmy will respawn. And combine that with another trick where if you collide with the Emmy, the same frame, you're actually maybe not the same frame, but probably a very tight window. I'm not entirely sure. But if you touch the Emmy as you're transitioning the room, combine that with the trick where you touch the door to make the Emmy respawn, you will respawn with the Emmy. And with enough luck, and hopefully this happens, we can get teleported to the room above. So now, since the camera is kind of messed up in here, we can still pause the game. So we can actually buffer the Emmy parry. And unfortunately, he was not able to get it.
Yeah, you have to do a one frame advance to get the parry, but if you miss the very last one, you'll get that whiffed parry. So I'll give it a couple more tries, but I have a safety save right after this in case we get too delayed.
Yeah. Unfortunately, if you do,
trick and it's a 1 in 3 chance if it even shows up in the place you want it to be.
Yeah, that's right. Unfortunately, if you whiff the first one, the camera will fix itself, and you cannot no longer pause. So you have to do the even harder parry. So it's okay. We're gonna get it again.
I got the bait counter. So if you get it down here, you actually airwalk.
Oh,
Kind of fun.
That was fun.
Yeah. If you get put in positions where you're forced to stand on the air, that will put you in airwalk state. It doesn't really have a lot of applications, but it sure does look funny. So I'll give it probably 2 more tries, and then Worst case scenario, I've got a save file queued up right after green enemy. Fortunately, the green enemy fight is pretty simple. You essentially just walk in, blast the CU with a bunch of missiles, and then stare the enemy in the face as you shoot it with the Omega Blaster.
Yeah, and the reason why we're doing all of this is it allows us to get into the area, it allows you to kill the enemy right here and now instead of having to go to Dairon, get the wide beam, come back, break a wide beam door. That's just a lot of wasted time that we
I went early.
Oh, dude.
So I needed a frame advance, probably one more on that one, but it did go into the arena, as Charlotte mentioned.
I had a feeling. Ooh, we got the closer spawn. Let's see if he's gonna bait. Oh, he's gonna bait, I think. Oh no, he's gonna keep going. Yo, faster? Fastest? There he is.
Okay, yep. Okay, so I gotta be careful. I want to die on this one because if you parry it, you can push it out of the enemy zone and crash the game. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and load my backup save here. So this will take us essentially directly after the enemy.
Yeah, so imagine we did what we did to the white enemy, but it's green this time, and that gets us Morph Ball.
Yeah, the enemy pairs can get pretty brutal.
Yeah, I got some pretty fortunate warps, but unfortunately I wasn't able to hit the frame advance. But in the interest of keeping on schedule, since I know there's 2 runs behind me, I made sure to be prepared in case this happened.
Yeah,
now-
Appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah, of course.
all right. Reduce 1 to the boss counter. Was it 25?
2 technically, because it's the CU and the Emmy.
Okay, so 24 left.
24 left, 6 bosses down, 24 to go.
Yeah, so because we didn't go to West Artaria before, we're just going to teleport into a blank map. Who knows where it is? It could be anywhere. Yeah. No, fortunately, the TPs don't crash like they do sometimes on Switch 1. But sometimes it definitely leaves you hanging a little bit. But, you know, that's all right. This is a pretty chill section here, so...
Do you wanted to add something during this downtime, Shasta?
Yeah, I can read an announcement for sure. If you want me to.
Yeah, go ahead. This is a good time.
Yeah, I can talk about Flame Fatales 2025, which is Flame Fatales GQ's all women and femme speedrun community is preparing for its next event, Flame Fatales, running from December 7th through 14th. The schedule is now live at gamesquid.com/schedule/58. Type exclamation mark FF in the chat for more information on how to join the Discord and stay up to date with all things Flame Fatales.
Heck yeah, support Flame Fatales.
Let's go.
Shout
Yeah,
out.
shouts all the Fatales out there in the community. But yeah, so we're destroying Artaria 1 button at a time. Unfortunately, they didn't give us any more fun buttons to press, so we're just gonna turn our pajamas orange and move on.
No, I like the blue. I like the blue pajama.
The blue suit is pretty cool, but unfortunately, Unrestricted really likes orange.
Yeah. All right. So now that we have various suit, we can be in heated up areas, and that's gonna allow us to progress in the game because there's one heated area in Dairon that we unfortunately cannot skip yet. Without various suit, it's gonna happen, dude. Trust me.
Yeah, not without multi-file or the old legacy glitches, unfortunately.
So
It's
now
been
we're
theorized maybe there's an Emmy warp somewhere in there, but no one's been bold enough to try, and I don't think the LMA has favorable spawns in the area.
I have
at that time.
tried it. There are no favorable spots. Unfortunately.
Now, you may have noticed
Oh,
we
yeah.
haven't even gone to Dairon for wide beam yet, so we basically just need to take the most direct path to Dairon possible, which fortunately involves going to Kraid, the next boss that we have to fight. Which one that is the diffusion beam, which is one of my favorite things because it just saves time across the run.
Also,
keeps you from having to
favorite
look for too
boss.
many things.
Also,
Yeah,
Hobbit's favorite boss.
for people who know me, I affectionately or disaffectionately, depending on your perspective, refer to Kraid as the evil green time waster. And that is simply because you don't really get a choice. Sometimes he just wastes your time. You know, whether he's throwing up on you or you know, really screaming at you.
And there's nothing you
not
can
my
do about it.
favorite.
And there's nothing you can
That's
do
evil.
about it.
You're right. Accurate name.
So yeah, if you ever look at my Discord name, you're like, why is his name the Evil Green Time Waster? His tag's Hobbit. That's why.
Here it is.
This
Big
boss fight's
boy.
also a little bit annoying. Normally you would do the charge missile, charge beam combo that I was talking about earlier, but because you don't have wide beam, it's not really worth the charge beams.
Look at him wasting all your time. Spitting
Yeah, that
on
vomit
the
attack is like annoying every single time it happens. But now we're going to see the single wall jump. Basically, if you just hold stick neutral and turn into a morph ball between your wall jumps, you'll kill your horizontal momentum, but keep your vertical momentum, and that allows you to ascend the wall with a single wall up to arbitrary heights.
Yeah,
In
it's a
Samus
really
Returns,
awkward input for sure.
In Samus Returns, you were able to do it without Morph Ball, but they patched it, so now we use Morph Ball. Wow, that was a really good fight, except
Plus
for the
7
start.
down, 23 to
Pretty
go.
good.
Yeah, I'll be honest, that was a really nice crate fight of the fact that he threw up on me, but that's okay. It happens.
Now we get the diffusion beam. No, this is not other M. This is Metroid Dread.
Yeah,
This
and
beam-
this is the rare sighting of the single shot diffusion beam. We will have it for about 2 minutes. You know,
Yeah.
it's just
Pay
a little
Close attention
cameo.
There, the
Single
preview, like the little video that plays on the side, actually did show wide beam. So by doing that skip, the game kind of spoils you.
Who knows what we'll get
Yo,
next?
spoilers?
I don't
Who
know.
knows? Could be anything.
Can you imagine if you were to shoot like diffusion beam without white beam, the game just crashes? So you have to get it first.
Oh, jeez, that would be a mess. Yeah, there is another routing through Catarus that you can go through the normal entrance of Dairon, which also, ironically enough, requires single wall jump. But it's just not faster, even in any percent, to not get diffusion, because there's a few blobs that are much easier to hit with diffusion that you would either otherwise have to clip or do a slower method to tackle.
So now we're gonna go to this normal path that is super dark, and we're gonna turn on all the lights.
Yeah, someone turned out the lights. I'm not really sure why they did that, but we're
It's
gonna
to
need
save
them
energy,
on.
dude.
So
Dude, have you seen the energy bill in this place? Dude, come on.
yeah, Ravenbeak's. I mean, look at the size of Eaterash. I mean, he's got money. Oh.
He's got bills to pay. Like,
He's just an honest, hardworking dad. You know, he's training Samus throughout the game. It's a lot to do.
And I mean, you know, the scientist man, he's working in Ferenia. He just makes sure to turn out the lights before he walks into the next area.
Yeah, exactly. He's very responsible like that. We appreciate our bird dads.
Shout out to Wide
and
Beam.
yeah,
Because we have
Swipe
more
beam,
ball,
finally.
we can just leave the way we went in. And I think that's kind of fun.
Yep, white beam and straight to later Dairon.
Yeah, so this is the heated area we were talking about. How this is like pretty much the only reason we need Varia-Suit. This plays it just too long.
Yep.
Yeah, it's
If it
really
was
interesting.
possible. You're gonna say? Sorry.
That heat ticks in this game are so much more aggressive than cold ticks.
Yeah, because it starts off and it only does like 3 damage or something on the first tick, but then it
Then it-
increases how much damage it does on every
Then it
tick.
does, like,
so eventually it's
50
doing, like, your
damage.
entire health in 1 tick.
What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, I was gonna say if we were able to turn off our upgrades like in Super Metroid, I would not care about the time loss. I would turn off Varus as soon as we're past that room. I do not need it anymore. So we're
Here's
gonna do another.
This is a little bit of a different pseudo missile, but this is we call it double turnaround. It's pretty much what it looks like. You just clip into the wall a tiny bit when you do this slide into the wall and the double turnaround. And there's a blob on the other side of this wall, which normally you would break on your way out, but if you break on your way in, it lets you skip a nice little loop through this area.
There we go.
And we got it.
Nice.
It's
I
a
think that's- I
really
think that's just
tricky
about-
angle. Yeah, just about. It's a pretty tricky pseudo because with beams you can actually shoot horizontally through the wall. But because missiles are actors, you actually have to shoot up just a little bit. And it just fortunately works out that the angle is just right for us to be able to slip them through the wall.
Alright, now we're gonna get bombs, which are kind of a pretty boring item in the speedrun, honestly. It doesn't have too much fun tricks.
Yeah, just break the blocks and progression. That's it.
Yeah, essentially it's just our gateway to Barenia for all bosses.
I don't know why I said that with a sense, boys.
Oh, actually, I just remembered though, there is going to be a funny trick with the bombs in Speedrunners.
That is true. A very infamous trick. But we'll wait until we get to Brandy to start talking about that.
Oh, also foreshadowing. Oh, he's gone.
Ooh.
You see
I don't know where
that?
he is.
I don't know what the guy is. I don't know what that guy was, but he was just chilling. He was being, tickled by lasers a little bit. But I don't think he minds.
Weird little dinosaur in the background. I'm sure they won't come back.
No, never.
Sure,
Metroid would never.
nah. All right, now the most important room in the game. This will determine if Hobbit is a golfer or not. He is a golfer. Let's go.
0-1.
This is the only time we passed through the infamous Dyrun golf course, so I'm glad that I've been able to affirm my status as a master golfer. Shout out to the one and only manager.
Shout to Manny.
Right. Here's
I was
another
sweating for that
trend.
one.
Normally, this would take like over 15 seconds. Actually, no, over 10 seconds. But we are on Switch 2, so it's gonna be super fast.
Yeah, there is an interesting glitch with trams sometimes where they'll just show you the wrong load screen. So like you'll get on a teleportal and you'll see a static image of an elevator, or like really just anything like that. You can see trams anywhere, you can see teleportals anywhere. It's very strange, but luckily it doesn't crash the game. Typically.
Yeah, it's not like Metroid Prime where if something even goes remotely slightly wrong, the game just.
Yeah, so he has to take the slow way through this room because he doesn't have grapple beam yet. We actually could have grapple beam, but he's going to be going to Artaria in just a little bit anyway to get the screw attack, so he may as well just have the grapple and screw attack do the same trip.
Hi, Adam. Bye, Adam.
It is nice just kind of walking on through, just waltzing through the areas,
Mm-hmm.
And you may notice I'm morphing off of ledges and water. For some reason, only in, or most prominently in water. Oops, missed my dash melee. You get a little forward momentum coming off a ledge, and in water, it's extremely pronounced. But
right here-
that trick we were foreshadowing before is
talking
here.
about. This is backdoor flash shift. So that missile door underneath him right now, that's the normal way that you would get into this room to get the flash shift power up. But that would require a pretty long trip through the underwater section because he doesn't have grapple beam. And even if he did have grapple beam, this is actually faster doing it this way by about 6 seconds. But without grapple beam, this is like, I don't even know how long, like 20 seconds, 30 seconds?
It's like 45. It's really long.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we have to do this trick, obviously, because it's do all the things,
Yeah.
This is one of the all things.
Oh.
Yeah, it's pretty tricky.
Sometimes the door control you there. It opens and then immediately closes when you try to get close to it. So we're gonna let Hobbit lock in for a second.
Yeah, so you not only need to stand above...
Oh,
there we go. For that trick,
You almost closed it again.
Nah, just making sure I didn't go through the load too fast, because if you go too far, you'll actually close the door on the way in. This way, we can just leave freely.
Yeah, this is flash shift. This is 1/3 of the Triforce that will allow us to do basically whatever we want for the entire game. By itself, this is also a really good movement tech item.
Absolutely.
I'm actually not sure which was my favorite, the flash shift or speed booster. They're very
I love
close
flash
together.
shift in this game. Like, it's such a cool new power to the series. Hope
It really
brought
is.
back in like future Metroid games.
Oh,
Here's another
absolutely.
beam
It, like, I feel
Here's
like they
another
kind
beam
of have to bring
suit.
it back,
Mm-hmm.
Here's
So
another
this
beam
is the
suit.
first, I think, pseudo wave that's actually with the beam and not the missile that we've seen. The missile, with the beam, with the wide beam, it's kind of nice because sometimes multiple shots will go through the collision, so you'll get like more of an angle.
Oh, I got bopped the wrong
nice
way.
sequence.
Oh, I didn't know you could do that.
It's okay. Oh, it's okay. I'll get it on the way back. Yeah.
There we go.
Yo, that's sick.
Touch to see boost.
Yeah, the founder of C-Boost is Charlotte, so I had to make sure I'm honoring my commentator,
I appreciate it.
Absolutely. You can do an underwater bomb jump there where you bomb jump in water and unmorph before you touch the ground. and that stores the state that allows Samus to gain height from bomb jumps underwater, and then you can just kind of jump, bomb, and then jump over and grab that ledge. But because we had the fish there, we call him Clyde in the community. I don't remember his official name, but because Clyde's there, he helps us out.
That is called a Bataloon.
Thank you.
Unfortunately, I haven't found much of anything in this game, so I can't really name anything out there myself.
It's okay. All the things named after me are not named by me, they're named for me. And they're usually things that are random, like Hobbit Skew.
Wait, why does that happen?
Well, once upon a time, I was doing any percent runs, and me and the escape door were not friends, to say the least. I was losing a lot of runs right at the end, so... and I was venting in the trick venting channel, and, well... Oops.
This is the charge beam missile combo attack that I was talking about. We call it Charlie's. And for the central units, that's the fastest way of killing them.
And that's boss. I lost count, but 24 left. I think. I don't remember.
I think we're like 23, maybe.
I'm not even sure.
9, so it's going to be 21 bosses to go after this. And yeah, this is one of the simpler enemy boss fights. You pretty much just come out and start shooting.
Yeah, genuinely, if you ever are playing casually and you're struggling with this Emmy, just watch the speedrun. Regardless of whether you mash the first hit or turbo the first hit, even if you just use the regular Omega Beam, you pretty much just stare at it.
Oh, what?
All right, so now we've got 2 out of 3 pieces of the Triforce. The Triforce of clipping, as we like to call it. So we will be collecting the third corner of the Triforce very shortly. But first, we got to get out of Dairon.
Oh, that's interesting.
We're going to go to Atari next, right?
Yeah. Oops, smash B too many times. That's okay. So normally you would just speed keep through here, through the bomb block, but here we will just jump up because we got the energy tank in Barinia.
So the normal thing that normal people would do here is just go get grapple, I guess. So that is pretty normal. Actually, never mind.
But unfortunately, we are not normal, so we are not... Wait. Actually, no, we are normal. What am I saying?
Ooh,
I was thinking of
you're
something
getting to
else.
see the speed boost. This is a really funny...
Oh. I missed the store. That's okay. I'm going to die, but that's fine.
Never seen the speed boost there before.
Yeah, you can do a short boost there, store, and then spark across. Store at the top of that slope, and then use the ledge that's right over there to grab skew. So it'll send us back a little bit, but that's okay. It's not very far, so we can just get back there really quick, and then I'll do it the normal way the next time.
It's okay.
Through.
This time you don't get the chance to whiff the...
Yeah, exactly. I can do the full speed boost now.
Heck yeah.
What they've done with Speed Booster in this game is truly incredible, and in my head kind of sets the standard for future games. Like, I really hope the next time we see Speed Booster in Metroid, it is this fluid.
You think
it's so cool to do in this game.
You think he'll show up in
The
Brand
fact they can like speed booster and also like slide at the same time and maintain it still is like super cool to me.
Yeah, and being able to jump and wall jump out of it is just so unbelievably sick.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, you can also morph out of it too, kind of similar to AM2R, but it's a little more flexible than it is there.
So now we're almost there. We're almost at the best part of the run, grapple beam.
Yep. So this is kind of the part of the run where everything explodes, and we can kind of do whatever we want. So I will let Miguel take the honors of explaining what's about to happen as we go to the grapple beam.
Well, for now, we're just gonna do some simple movement towards grapple beam. Not much to know for now.
There's a very positive here.
Tall room, missile. Let's see if you can get the flash shift combo.
Oh, missed the chain. That's okay.
This is where the fun begins. So, now, as you might have heard Trollat say earlier, now we have the Triforce of the Metroid Dread. We have Speed Booster, Flash Shift, Speed Booster, and Grapple Beam. So, using these 3 items, we can break the game. So, right now, you're gonna see how we do something with Speed Booster. So first I'm gonna go over here. Then he's gonna store spark, flash into the corner, and slide at the same time. Then activate the spark, hold free aim, move forward, walk up the ledge, aim backwards, pause, and buffer a forward input. And why did he do all that? Good question. You'll see why in a second.
If you've got a keen eye, you may have noticed while I was spin jumping, Samus's direction was not changing.
So now we're gonna hear, and whoop! Samus is now facing away from the
That's
sides.
Metroid Dread, a 3D game.
Yeah, this is a 3D game. So this is what we like to call Bumblebee skew, an advanced version of the axis skew trick, which makes it so Samus like faces the screen, and that basically allows us to clip through walls just like that.
Oh, okay.
But
Hello,
the Bumblebee skew version, it lets us just skew on command by just jumping. The previous axis skew made it so you could only neutral jump and you could not keep the angle. But with Bumblebee skew, it kind of just breaks everything. So now we're gonna clip through this wall or door because we're gonna go to Frozen Artaria, or going this way will make it so we activate Frozen Artaria, because this is the elevator you take from Berenia after Gravity Suit, and it triggers Frozen Artaria. So we're gonna go here for two things. One, we obviously want to trigger that state, and there's actually two Choso robots, and they count as bosses. So we're gonna go beat them to death.
Yep. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, so he did that skew state using flash and speed. The reason why we need grapple for it is because this game really doesn't want you to go out of bounds. It'll do basically anything it can to stop you from doing it, including kill you if you go out of bounds. But because of the way grappling onto a wall works, they had to make it so that if your grapple is active, you can't die in the out of bounds state. So the grapple allows you to survive out of bounds.
So now we're gonna store a spark there with Bumblebee skew, because we're not moving at all. We can just like stay in spot. We're gonna charge another one here. Beautiful. Jump like spark straight into a robot and kill it with screw attack. Clean.
Very nice.
Such a clean fight.
Yeah, that was a big learning curve getting into this category.
If you notice, the map is like cyan. That's because the whole planet is frozen now. As you see that the water below is turned into ice.
Yeah, the trigger for frozen ZDR occurring is just this tram here, this elevator.
Yeah, it applies. It doesn't apply just for Artaria and Catalyst. It applies for the whole planet. All the water gets frozen.
Now, a funny thing that's going to happen is we haven't freed the X, but there are X enemies in Frozen Artaria, so you're going to see some enemies that don't exactly have animations that work the way you would hope they would.
Oh, you got it. So here we're going to do a neutral jump clip. Okay, he got it. So doing some very specific movement on the wall and jumping, you can store just enough right angle so it can clip through the wall a little bit on skew, and then prepare a mid-air skew or mid-air spark so it can just clip through the wall. Like clip just enough so it can spark through. Because sparking skips like a couple of blocks in any direction. So trigger a speed booster charge there so it can just spark into this Choso soldier over here, because it also counts as a boss. And he's behaving, I think. Yeah, he's behaving.
Yeah, once you get the Triforce, you're pretty much just like on a hunt to just take on everyone. And very nice fight. You normally have the plasma beam and super or ice missiles when you fight this guy, so...
Oh no, you flashed it to the room. Yeah, these are X enemies, but the X are not actually released, so when you kill them, they just freeze like that.
Yeah,
some
normally
of them,
they would
actually.
like turn into the goop guys, but... Ooh.
Oh, I almost got continuation. That's a really hard continuation through that load zone. It's really, really finicky, and then getting the jump afterwards is really hard.
Yeah, since these are X enemies, they are much more powerful. They do a lot more damage, so you gotta be really careful with them.
Especially these worms in the ground that are leaving that gas. That gas will absolutely destroy you.
Oh, by the way,
there goes my skew. That's okay.
Hey, what's
You
this
would also
bit here?
normally have gravity beam, or gravity suit. here, and now we only have Varu's suit, which has like half the protection.
Yeah, so
Exactly.
as you saw earlier, how it turned around mid-air without spinning, unfortunately this causes you to lose bomb haste skew, so you will need to obtain it again. That's why you have to be really careful with your movement when you have skew, because you could just lose it if you're like careless. So you're just gonna do like a
jump.
bounce, whoop, and
Yeah,
run
if
away
you hold
to
jump when you
cameras.
ball spark into a wall, you'll just do that giant hop, and the longer you hold B, the further you'll go, up until like a max height.
It's
So
very
that just
fun.
kind of conveniently allows you to skip right over that room.
Now we're on our way
Alright.
to C57.
Oh, and we're gonna see such a. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm so excited for you guys to see this. So there's a few different ways to kill Z57 pretty much instantly, and they all involve getting some kind of weird skew state. Howard's gonna show us the funny kill, as he calls it.
Kill.
But first, you're gonna need to get skew again here. Fortunately, this is like a super easy spot. See? Easy.
There it is.
So once again, careful not to turn around midair without spinning. Wait, are you going this way? Oh, guess it's faster.
Yeah.
Wait, does it definitely kill you? Oh, they don't.
If it's
Interesting.
open in non-frozen, then it doesn't kill you. That's why we pre-open that charge door. Oh, okay. 2, 3, 4.
Hobbit skill, let's go.
So the reason why it goes into the map sometimes, by the way, is because it causes when you go into a different area's map and then go back and then just press B, it causes a few frames to skip, which gives you a little bit more leeway to do certain stores or whatever.
Alright, now I'm gonna clip over here, see that everything is like no super weird state. The camera is like not following us.
Camera has no idea what to do.
Yeah, this room is unloaded, but by entering this room, it changes the room state. So now we're over here. We're still in the same
Drop
beat
in
now.
to Z57 and instantly
And-
kill him.
Goodbye, C57.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, there's another way to do to get a speed charge in Z57's room by holding charge into the cutscene that loads in, and then releasing a partial charge shot. Oopsies. That's okay. I
Run
will
back.
do-
Run back.
Run it back. Run it back. Run it back. Run it back. Run it back. Run it back. There we go.
There.
Hey.
Oh, what? Well, that was interesting. I've never seen that. Why that was kind of just. That was weird.
Yeah, you kind of
Yeah.
like you don't travel at the same angle as the ceiling, so you just kind of awkwardly ride along it. One of the few ways to go through that room. But if you release that partial charge shot while Z57's fight is loading in, you will face towards the camera, and then you can dodge his attacks and get a speed charge, and then instantly kill him. Because because of the Flappy Bird minigame that he kind of has at the end of the fight, he's programmed to automatically die if he gets hit by a Shine Spark.
Dude,
So that
like,
one's just kind of for the show.
I'm still trying to process you killed Expedition 33 there so quickly. That was awesome.
did you say.
Thank you.
What did you say?
Don't worry about it.
That's Z57's French cousin. Don't worry about it.
Expedition 33. Never played the game personally, but I heard it's good.
So have
We're on
I,
our way
yeah.
to Ferenia, yeah?
Yeah,
All
so
right.
we're on our way to the quiet robo fight, and unfortunately this door opens really slow and just makes us kind of awkward to look at it, but that's okay.
Alright, so now we're going to where we're normally supposed to go after Grapple Beam. To Quiet Robe.
Yeah, so now we're back on the vanilla track, but unfortunately we will very, very quickly be leaving it.
Oh yeah, these things will break like really fast.
So,
Actually, another loading screen, but we are on Switch 2, so it's gonna be super fast.
Yippee.
so
What a good spend of $450, right?
hey, it's absolutely worth it. And now DK Bonanza's out, and I'm hearing it's real good. So,
Banana.
hey, shouts out, you know?
We're gonna try to do a speed keep. Oh, he's gonna get it. And he got it. Nice.
Every
Nice.
time.
That was very good.
Yeah, that one's really tricky with
Here's a-
skew because if you're spinning the wrong way, you actually can't wall jump.
So here's a robot. We have screw attack. We're just screwing. Screw you.
Yeah, normally you would do a
Literally.
Shine Spark on that, but because he has Screw Attack early, it just dies really, really quickly to Screw Attack.
And now,
Alright, so now we be supposed to go back to Borenia because Quiet Rope opened the path to like go to the upper side. But we're not gonna do that. Instead, we're gonna just hug this wall a little bit. We're gonna do a okay. Oh, that caught me off guard a little bit. We're gonna clip through this wall and we're gonna be in this section here, this Emmy valve tunnel, and you might be able to take a guess, but we're not supposed to be here. So that clip there, we're gonna do another how do you call this? Speed
it's like a map buffered wall clip.
Buffer wall clip, yes. Now we're in the main side of Arena, and this is huge because being here, we can make a way to SQ, which has storm missiles, and then that's gonna let us go get space jump, and then that's gonna let us get wave beam, which is the probably the most, well, not maybe the most broken upgrade, but it's a very powerful beam.
It kind of makes a lot of the game look silly.
Yeah. Wave beam automatically gives us plasma beam, so like it's a part of it because it's a stack beam mechanic. So now we're gonna wait to SQ. Look at that Mario block that I don't know which Mario game is from. On the bottom.
Heck yeah, let's go.
So we're gonna spark the room or hold the charge. I mean,
This is another
then we
fun
can
boss
just
fight. He's just gonna bounce.
spark into SQ
You can hit
and
it,
screw it.
4x twice as it's spawning in, so that you can just hit it one more time. Normally you'd have to hit it 3 times with screw attack, but he was able to just kind of reduce that to 2 cycles.
Yeah, it is possible to one cycle it with plasma, ice missiles, and cross bombs, but we don't have those items, so we make do.
Nah. And also, we are gonna get crossbones, but Hobbit is a certified crossbomb hater, so we're never gonna see it.
Yeah, me and
Even though he
cross
has-
bombs have a feud as old as the Romeo and Juliet, the Capulets, and it's escaping me right now. Now I'm making the joke. It's
Montagues.
really
The
awkward.
Montagues.
Yeah, the Capulets and the Montagues. Thank you very much, Shasta. I
I
appreciate
got
it.
you.
Alright, so we never technically the Emmys are still deactivated because Quiet Rope never conflicted by the X or whatever. So there's no Emmy here, which is wonderful because nothing's gonna get on the way.
Okay.
Here's
Set that up.
Hobbit's gonna clip into this door, and that's gonna let us go to Wave Beam, where the central unit is, much more earlier. So I'm gonna run here, clip. Oh, very good. I thought you were gonna spark for a second.
Nah, I just use that as a timing metric. So with the angle that you get from getting both
Alright.
skew and tilt on that magnet,
The funny room.
4 melees and then an instant speed charge will allow you to get through the door.
Do not
Ooh, that
lose.
was spooky. That was very spooky.
So we call this the funny room because this room was a meme for the longest time. We were initially when the game came out, we were able to skip gravity suit by using the Emmy here to get an access cube. We didn't know about bombing his cube before, so we used a different method, which was much more limited. But anyway, we found the route where you skip the X, so we have no Emmy anymore, so we couldn't do gravity
See you
skip.
kill.
yeah, and
But
now we
got bomb
officially
haze
don't need
skew.
skew anymore.
Yeah, so now we got bomb haze and we can skip gravity suit again. So that's another
Yeah.
boss down central unit, and now we're gonna go beat the purple Emmy. So it was disabled, it wasn't spawned, but when you exit the central unit, the game force spawns it, so it's okay. We don't have to go to evil and release the X. That would be really bad. Ugh. Can you imagine having to do that?
Yeah, luckily there's only one boss that's actually required to have the X released before it spawns, and that's Golzuna, because you kind of have the pre-fight with the smaller versions of it, so it needs the X to be able to reform.
So here we're gonna cheat and... I'm kidding.
Yeah, so if you have either 20 hertz turbo or mash above 15 hertz, you can shoot the Emmy and pop its face while it's still coming towards you. And as long as you get it before it's platformed in front of you, then you can get that charge shot and just kind of stare it in the face. Otherwise, you can do a pretty easy jump over strat by doing just a regular neutral jump and then respinning over. Shout out to Ed Nolian for teaching me that. That's my guy.
Now we have Wave Beam, the best
Yes.
beam. So now the game is pretty wide open, completely destroyed. We can go anywhere we want.
We don't even need to pseudo wave anymore. We have
Yep, because we have real wave. So now that we have wave, we're gonna go. Oh, I thought you. Yeah, we're gonna wait to do like a boss cleanup. We're gonna just go kill all the remaining bosses because it's all bosses. Speaking of which, there are 2 robots in here.
Yeah, unfortunately, they make the load really long. Oops.
Yeah, they can't
Open
just
that
do
door.
that. When there's
He's gonna
when there's
do
bots
a
there.
Shine Spark into this area so that, or into this room so that he can get the space jump immediately, and then he's gonna be able to flash out before the door closes behind him.
Yeah, Skip's going through the
That
water.
would be a problem, but
Yeah, you can get out. It just wastes a lot. It just wastes a little bit of time, you know.
right.
We're
So
speedrunners, you know, we want to go fast.
We have wave
go
beam,
fast.
storm missiles. I almost said seekers, and we can spark. What could happen besides the fact that they
Watch
just
this guy
get
just melt.
melted?
Sheesh.
Yeah, it's a recurring theme at the end during boss cleanup where things just kind of get like absolutely eviscerated.
Yo, Cyan teleporter mention, Cyan teleporter.
Yeah, Cyan Teleporter is not really used very often, but fortunately for all bosses, it's a very convenient teleport straight to Berenia.
Yeah, where we will be fighting everybody's favorite boss, Dragaiga.
Water Spore Spawn, I mean, yeah, Dragiga. Or I guess in the code, Hydrogiga. That's kind of a fun name. I kind of wish that was his official name.
Is this name? Hydro Giga? Interesting. Anyway, Cyan teleporter. Goodbye. You were lost. So
Yeah, so now-
we talked to Quiet Rope, so this thing is down for us.
Yep. It's really nice to have space jump and doing all this, especially for the room coming up. So here we're gonna do suit wave, except that we have real wave, so we don't need to do that. Actually, no, wait. What am I saying? We're not gonna
No,
go
we
that
have to kill
fast.
the boss,
The pseudo wave is
unfortunately.
for Drog Skip, but we're doing Drog Yes.
We're gonna
Drog skip
spark.
skip.
We're gonna spark through this bozo because we don't like him. Indeed. And here's
And because we
Dragaiga.
have Wave Beam, he's actually going to be able to do a 1 cycle on Dragaiga. That's a little bit faster than what we would normally do. Normally we like shoot him with like a certain number of missiles and then do some damage to make him not respawn. But with Wave Beam, you can just keep doing a bunch of charge beams.
Yeah, you just kind of have to
And
manage his health a little bit because Wave Beam does too much damage to Drog. So you kind of have to partially miss one of your first shots, like one of your first 2 shots, so he doesn't automatically go into the melee counter that locks you into a 2-phase.
Yeah,
but
you-
luckily, I got it.
Yeah, definitely didn't say that because you actually missed it on accident.
Oh yeah, no, I would never miss on purpose. I promise.
It's wild me have done like most of
Time was not
Frenia
the big
already,
thing,
and if this is the person we actually go to go for in the first
Yeah.
place.
Oh yeah.
Gavrin's kind of an afterthought,
Yeah.
and all bosses, like, there's a few bosses here, and that's pretty nice. And notably, we have space jump, so super missiles just don't need to be obtained. We can go straight to ice missiles. Because like beam stacking, missiles also stack.
Which is very convenient for you, considering the Hobbit method of getting out of super missiles.
Yeah, back in the day when we had to do when we did the sync into super missiles, you had to do reverse missile door, and there was a method where I just mashed missiles instead of watching Samus's breathing cycle, and it got affectionately named the Hobbit method. So if you ever find yourself in that room stuck, just shoot the door. The explosion can poke just through the one-sided door and open the door. Oops. So we can just kind of skip all the platforming because we have space, and the Emmy's not here because Quiet Robe turned him off for us, and we haven't gone to Elon yet.
Yeah, the X are not released, so the enemies are inactive.
Luckily, killing the CUs causes the Emmy to spawn, otherwise we would need to do some really stupid routing.
Yep. I mentioned that earlier. So we're gonna bait the enemy over here, the enemy's gonna go over there, we're gonna just cheese it on the ceiling.
Pretty similar to the speed Emmy kill.
Boom.
Yeah, this one's a little harder, but just because the angle is a little more awkward.
Yeah, he hides behind your health and ammo UI. Something.
Oh dang. I just realized my Ralsei plush is gonna arrive while I'm gonna be at work. I'm sad.
Okay, he'll be waiting for you. But yeah, you kind of have to come into the room a little bit, and then that wall kick I did off the left side will bait the enemy to go up instead of down, which allows it to go on the ceiling, because otherwise it will slowly climb down and around the bottom of the room, and that just takes way too long. Especially since the enemy is pretty beefy compared to some of the other ones.
So now we're going to go to Elune. Is that right?
Mm-hmm. That's correct. We're now in the ledge warp section of the run. We had the skew section, but now we are ledge warping. And
now we're
love
gonna see it again.
warping.
So what just happened there is he morphed right as Samus was doing a mantle animation to get up onto the ledge, which stored the unmorphed state of Samus to be on that ledge. And then by unmorphing while facing the same direction, when he turned back into adult Samus, or like regular Samus, he teleported back to where he stored the ledge.
Yep, and it's like an essential
watch this
returning
time, by the
warp.
way. And it's done.
Yeah, it's actually wild how fast Elune loads on the Switch 2. It is really, really nice. Because sometimes loads can be a bit of a pace breaker or a necessary break, So it is nice to get to kind of just keep going during boss cleanup.
And this is very funny.
Yeah, we have Wave Beam, which gives us Plasma Beam, which means we can open the Plasma door right at the beginning there and surprise this guy. Which allows us to kill him without getting the cutscene.
You just spark into him, and from his perspective, it was just Samus jump scare.
Yeah, exactly.
And,
if
now
you
we
go,
just need to. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, if you go into the door the regular way, then he will actually disappear as soon as the intro cutscene plays, and it looks really funny.
Okay, so right here, we're gonna take this tunnel and then immediately go back out with a ledge warp that he had stored earlier, and this will release the X. There's an invisible trigger there that just changes every room ever and release the X. So trigger the cutscene, and yeah. So we need to do this because we need to fight Golzuna. Can't fight Golzuna without the X released.
Which is weird because there's two other bosses that have core X phases and they both work fine.
I mean, C57 does it's all cutscene.
Right,
yeah.
World's hardest skip, let's go.
Yo.
That's the hardest cutscene to skip in the game. Everybody always forgets it.
Yeah, so that's the cutscene where the Emmys get turned back on, but unfortunately for them, they're all gone.
Only one left is Powerbomb Emmy.
So we get to do a nice little speed keep here. Oh, I missed the door, unfortunately. That's okay.
Yo, gaming.
Nice speed keep.
Pass.
Gaming.
Oh, I missed the jump more. That's okay. So you can carry that all the way up here to try to take the spark after this ledge warp.
First try.
Will shortcut in here. But because we missed it, we will just go ahead and do the ledge warp the old-fashioned way, rolling on through. And I'll try to hit the world's hardest bomb jump.
Because there's a Chozo fight that only appears after you. Well, supposedly after you get the spin jump or spin boost power up, but actually it's just if you've been in this room or not.
Yep. So if you just roll a little bit to pass some time, and then on morph, you come all the way back here. The only multi-room ledge warp in the run, and then you can fight the jungle Chozo or forest Chozo.
Frame one.
Dude was doing his auto farming entrance, but then you just bonk into him and he fell over.
Yeah, and it gives him a special animation. So like the devs were definitely like very intentionally giving you space to get that speed charge there. So it's just a nice little detail that makes this game feel special. There's lots of little things like that.
How many bosses are left? I have not been keeping count.
Right now we have Golzuna remaining. We have Powerbomb Emmy remaining / the soldier, and then we have Raven Beak remaining. So we're right at the end
bosses
here.
left.
I believe it counts the Powerbomb Emmy and the Powerbomb CU. I might be mistaken on that.
I would not be surprised, just because the way the game counts bosses is a little silly.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So now we're going to do
he's basically just
quick
trying
kill.
to spark it twice. So he's going to wait for it to go up, and then
Owned?
start the other side, and then the storm missiles are actually able to completely kill the core X before the invincibility or like the frames kick in.
And we got crossbows, but Hobbit is never gonna use them. Nope, no
I will
crossbow
use
uses
them
here.
to clear rows of bomb blocks, and that's it.
He is the #1 crossbow hater.
There's the
Absolutely.
one cross bomb that he's going to lay, and now he's going to just use the space jump to skip over these instead of actually using the cross bomb as intended. Oh wait, no, never mind. 2 cross bombs.
And I have a secret. There's one more.
What?
Because there's one row of bomb blocks in Hanubia, so you get your 3 cross bomb uses outside of a boss fight. Because cross bombs actually do pretty good damage to Ravenbeak.
Oh, that's true.
Especially in phase 1. All of the individual hits of cross bombs will pop his little barrier. So if he does the right attacks, he can actually just instantly get red phase and red wave you after 1 attack. So that's what we'll be aiming for when we go to Ravenbeak. But first, we need to grab the power bomb so we can pop the glass tube, fight the elite Chozo, and then go to Itarash.
We're in the end game now.
Oh, she said the thing.
Pretty much fighting the power bomb Emmy or the power bomb Chozo as normal.
Yeah, there's like a specific method here where I'm going to pre-charge my storm missiles, and that's because the longer you hold R, the faster you get locked.
Oh, I love entering this room through the main door. Oh, I hate clipping through the wall here.
Yeah, this room is very notorious because in any UR, you have to go through the wall above this, and it's a very tricky clip because there's 3 of those little robot ports on the wall that are very notorious for knocking you out of the wall.
A little detail you may have noticed in the Chozo fights up until now, and that you will notice in the last Chozo fight as well, is he's not attacking while they do their scream during that phase shift. That's because they actually don't take any damage while they're screaming, so he just charges the storm missiles to get that nice little burst of damage as soon as they become vulnerable again.
Yep.
So keep an eye out for that on the gold Chozo coming up.
Mm-hmm. Because storm missiles do a lot of damage to soldiers. But
Yeah,
unfortunately, they take so long. Mm-hmm. But hey, they are pretty cool. They're a nice reinventing of the seeker missile for sure. So here we just have to play power bombs and make our way through all the way back to. Okay, good. I didn't get power bomb scammed.
Yeah. So the power bombs, the effect of the power bombs will persist through room transition, but the charge will actually reset. So whenever he lays a power bomb, he's going to want to do it at the end of one room, not the beginning of the next, because he can't do it at the beginning of the next.
Very cool power bomb dropping in combination with speed booster. And we have the second to last boss, which is the golden Chozo.
Technically, it's the third to last boss.
Third? Oh.
Yeah, we can't forget our favorite mutant.
Oh, I hate that guy.
Yeah, he's RBX is another very infamous boss in Unrestricted, because in any percent, you actually don't get Metroid Suit because you don't fight Ravenbeak, which may cause some complications trying to fight him, but luckily, this is all bosses, so we get to get our fun watermelon suit.
Hooray.
And because we don't have Gravity Suit here, the aura is actually bigger than the Various Suit, so we are red with Metroid energy for 1 screen.
Here for red energy.
Shoutouts to Red. Woo!
Good
I
color.
love red.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wait, is that why they call it Red Bull?
Maybe.
Extremely loud
never
and
drinking
correct
it, I
buzzer.
don't
Yeah, sometimes you can also get shine sparks that are red instead of purple for whatever reason. This game just really likes red.
I'm
I
sure
think.
Arkanox knows.
Yeah, Ark is a big RDV dev and former speedrunner of this game, and they actually found the hyper missiles glitch, where if you leave your game on for 3 days with it running, you will get a missile fire rate that is, I think, 80% faster.
What the heck?
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds fake. That sounds like something your friend would tell you on the playground, but it's real.
Yeah.
No, Sarge, dude, trust me.
Yeah, the delta timer for the game starts having a rounding error, and that rounding error just absolutely demolishes your recovery time for that and dash melee.
So, like he said, he's going to be laying a cross bomb against Ravenbeak so that he'll get to this red phase really soon, which causes a scripted counter. And by doing enough damage during this counter, we can actually skip the golden armor phase of the first phase, and we're just right on to the second phase, where he's just going to be pelting Ravenbeak with everything he's got. This little this little melee animation makes it so that he doesn't aim properly at you for some reason, so you can just pelt him with damage the entire time that he's doing his little missile attack. And then third phase is pretty similar to the first phase. He does have a few more attacks that he can do, like that one. Careful not to get hit by another one.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the sun here to get a refill on health, because that was mean.
And yeah, he goes into Ravenbeak right before he fires the big beam so that he doesn't take the damage from the beam, but instead takes the contact damage, which is much lower, and then 2 counters here, and Ravenbeak is dead.
I love
how true light this fight gets in general in speedruns, because like it is by far like the hardest fight in this run, or in the game rather, you know?
I died to Ravenbeak so many times casually, and I like 100%ed the game. So in retrospect, it is absolutely wild.
Let's hear it for boss number 30.
Woo! So I have a very important philosophical question. I ask it every time I'm on any kind of stream. What flavor do you think the Hyper Beam is?
Mountain Dew Code Red.
Ooh, that's a good answer. I personally subscribe to either the watermelon or the black cherry crown, but I'm open to ideas.
Hydrochloric acid.
Well.
Mm-hmm.
Hydrochloric acid.
Strawberry lemonade energy to me.
Ooh, that's a good one. That's a good one. I'm trying to think of like some of the unique answers I've gotten, but Mountain Dew Code Red, I think that's a first. So that's kind of fun. Good work, Shasta. Good work.
Hell yeah. It's good flavor.
Absolutely.
I think it tastes like hydrochloric acid.
So during this last section, we don't have any of our Aeon abilities, so we're not going to be able to use Flash Shift to get around, so it's a lot of speed keeps, including the Arc Spark, which I assume Hobbit's going to get first try.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Totally gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
So this is a speed cube found by Arcandy, known top runner of Metroid Dread. You can just kind of come over here. Oops.
What? Never seen that before.
Oops. I will go for it one more time because it's close enough. You have a lot of time in escape.
We cannot get past this until we get it.
Mm-hmm. And luckily, the escape timer is very generous. There we go.
Yo.
Hey, let's go.
Nice.
Yeah, and that just lets you speed vault through that little... Absolutely, it's so cool. And then time will be coming up here once I lose control of Samus at the top of this room.
So in like 5 seconds.
I'm going to spark here, and then it'll be time. And that's time.
GG.
GG's, gamers. GG's. I definitely wish I could have hit any warp, but I think you guys kind of got the gist of it, so I had to keep things moving here. What was my final time on that?
It was 1:10:35.
Ooh, okay.
It was slow by like a second when they stopped it.
Hey, that's pretty solid. A 1:10 in a marathon setting, fantastic. And then we got to count for our 30 bosses. We got 30 defeated. We're all set. And that's Metroid Dread, all bosses unrestricted. Shout out to the community. Shout out to everyone involved. Shout out to Charlotte and Miguel for joining me on comms here. Hopefully I can make it to GDQ stage live so I can do some of this fun stuff for everyone in the crowd. But thanks for having me, Shasta. I really appreciate the opportunity.
Absolutely. That was a really cool run. I've seen this run before many times, but I've never seen Unrestricted, I think. And like the fact that this game gets as broken as it is Unrestricted is so cool to me.
It is unbelievable. Gosh. It is unbelievable, truly.
I've been trying to get unrestricted in GDQ for like the longest time now. One day we'll get accepted.
Every time, honestly. This run especially, I think we'll get in. If you just keep on submitting for next event, absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely. This on backup is wild to me still. I like. Can we talk about that? This is on backup. That's how stacked the backup list was this time.
Yeah, there were a lot of great runs at SGDQ this year, so it's stiff competition. And I know I'm a more relatively unknown face, so I get it. But hey, thanks for having us, Shasta, and best of luck to the runners that are following me. I think it's Mouse Shy and Jaxler.
Absolutely. And yeah, we'll be seeing Cavern of Dreams all eggs after this with Mouse Shy in just a little bit. Another SGQ backup run. That's the theme for today. So stick around for that. Stick around for that, everybody, and I'll see you in just a little bit. Welcome back to Do All the Things, everybody. The Hotfix show up on Hermstone speedruns and completionist categories in general. We're back here once again with another run on the SGQ backup list. Cavern of Dream all eggs. As someone who's part of an egg-based run in the last GDQ, gotta say, all eggs, love that category. Heck yeah. But also, this one's really cool. Has also a cute like dragon mascot. I love that. Love cute things. I'm excited for this. So let's get to it. Hello, Masha. How you doing?
Hello. I am Mouse, or Mouse Shy if you want to use my full name there. And this is going to be Cavern of Dreams, all eggs. Cavern of Dreams is a cute little retro-style indie 3D collectathon platformer released in 2023. We play as Finn, the cute baby dragon here. And the category all eggs, we'll be collecting all of Finn's unhatched siblings, which are kind of like the main collectible of the game. They were kidnapped by Luna. We need to go find them all 40 of them. And joining me on commentary is Jaxler, if you'd like to introduce yourself.
Hi, hello, I'm Jaxler. I've run 80% for this game, and I'm very excited for this. This game has a ridiculous movement system, and Mouse Shy is cracked at it, to put it lightly, so this is going to be a great time.
All right. Well, without further ado, let's get started. Time will start as soon as, not when I select the file, but after the loading screen. I will do my best to give a countdown, but it's going to be kind of vibes based. So here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
All right, good luck.
Thank you. So this is Finn. Right now, our main method of movement is going to be rolling around. Well, I mean, that's always going to be our main method of movement. But right now, we don't have any other options. He jumps. He's very bouncy. We're doing a little dialogue skip there by jumping around the edge. And then we collect our first egg.
Egg.
Yep, so that first egg right there is going to allow us to unlock the tail swipe ability. This is going to, in combination with the rolling, allow us to do the majority of our movement here. We're going to see an advanced technique here called a tail bounce, where we're going to attempt to do, basically, we start a roll and then sort of tilt ourselves backwards and then press like the tail attack. And this will launch us into the air, and we're trying to catch the other side of that waterfall. We're essentially skipping a kind of a big wraparound segment here, and this is kind of like an early run killer of this category in particular. There we go, nice. Third try's pretty good.
Yeah, I was trying to do the fancy version, but it was giving me trouble, so I did the slower but more safe version.
Yeah, so you can either do it with a running start, which is what I like to call impossible, or you can do kind of this like sit down version. And then right there, you saw Mouse Shy pause at the apex of their jump. Whenever you pause in this game, it'll cancel any of the momentum that you have. So oftentimes with these tail bounces, you can get way too much momentum, and that allows you to curb it a little bit. And then right there, we just clip through a door. There's a puzzle that you have to do to open that door. But if you just tail swipe and roll at it, you'll just clip right through it. And there's a couple of spots in the game you can do that. We're going to go grab some fish food for a friend in this section real quick. And
we're going to skip 2 cutscenes here really quick. There's one. And there's another. So kind of what happens there is those 2 cutscenes would be of opening doors that we will access later. Right now they aren't open because we need to reload the area first, but we skip them by getting into like a roll attack state by missing a tail attack, which is kind of I guess a glitch state where if you attack and talk to something at the same time using a roll attack state, it allows you to skip cutscenes.
Something else that we're doing here with the movement as well is as we're landing on the ground before we start a roll, we're doing a tail attack. If you do the tail attack and then hold roll, it'll do like this kind of like tail attack roll. It's part of the game mechanics, and it's just the fastest way to get up to top speed. And then sometimes as well, you'll notice those little red sparkles behind Finn as well. Whenever you're not rolling, those red sparks will appear as well, and it allows you to like run around at a faster rate. So you can actually like do a roll, cancel out of the roll, and then pivot with your walking speed in order to get a better position, because the rolling is actually really hard to control. It kind of actually controls like a ball and like rolling around a ball, which, that's exactly what it looks like, right? But this is a Unity game, so there's like a lot of physics stuff going on that Mouse Shy has to manage here. And so right here, this is normally a platforming section that's intended to be solved with something called the Jester Boots, but we can just do a tail bounce to completely bypass that section and just immediately leave. And then we also set up another wet egg on the way into this section, which is just a puzzle that you're supposed to find clues for throughout the environment. Just kind of a cool environmental puzzle, but the solution's the same every time, so you can just hit the correct order and be good to go.
And coming here, we have our Finn's arch nemesis, small openings. He likes to bounce off the edges. That one wasn't too bad.
And then yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Oh, okay. In the next segment here, there's supposed to be a switch that we have to hit, I believe, in order to make this egg accessible. But we're going to do another series of tail bounces, one to get up to this ledge, and another one of those pauses. And then we're going to cancel out of the roll early in order to just not go flying everywhere. You can bounce off of things like walls pretty drastically if you hold on to your roll. So a lot of the movement is like kind of controlling that speed. You get so much speed in this game that honestly, a lot of times it's hard to manage. And speaking of which is probably the strat that made me quit learning this category, which is this roll up the hill. There's a specific side you have to tail roll off of.
Hold on, let me get a better approach there. I kind of messed up my approach. But yeah, basically just kind of do a little tail bounce off the water there, and you do a nice fancy bounce.
And then at the end there, you have to roll and then let go so you can start turning around and controlling your air drift to not overshoot the egg. And then right there, we do a tail bounce into that card. The cards are kind of like an optional collectible for 100%, but jumping into that allows you to gain movement during oh my god, I hate you. So you can grab that egg from underneath with a tail bounce. It is extremely precise, and Mouse just got it first try, so that's why I'm a little mad. And now we're gonna save and quit. This will take the eggs that we just got and save them into the file, and then we can quit and reload to get back to the center hub area. And we're gonna go pick up 2 abilities with those eggs that we collected. So we're going to get the wings to be able to glide around, as well as a horn, which we can use as a pseudo ground pound to bash some things in, as well as give us kind of an extra bounce if we need some extra height, and a couple of key locations. But now that we have those, we are going to make our way into the sewer duct here. There's going to be
meet Luna.
Oh yeah, we're going to see Luna finally.
She's the one who kidnapped all of Finn's siblings and painted them and scattered them around. She, let's see, I think lore-wise, she was adopted by Sage, but then Sage abandoned her, so she's a little upset about that.
Supposedly. All right, so we're going to do a big tail bounce to get up to the top of this cannon here, and then do another one to get up to this egg. This entire room is built around something called the Jester Boots, which are a little temporary power-up that essentially allow you to hover mid-air and walk on air, essentially. And then you gain height in order to walk across higher points, right? But we have all the height we want with tail bouncing. And we're also gonna see the glide come into play here a little bit as well. Just kind of allows us to start building some speed too. There's gonna be a lot of puzzles where we can just tail bounce over it, and that lets us skip kind of the intended solution of finding a switch or a hidden thing.
Yeah, just if you have a problem, just tail bounce over it. Easy.
Yeah, so Luna's Fortress here is kind of intended to be sort of the last level / area of the game. But we can, and it's kind of blocked by what abilities you have. Also, there's just water here.
Oh yeah, we should probably talk about air swimming a little bit.
Yeah, so you're supposed to I believe fly into that with I think a Jester Boots power up. But there's just a bit of there's just water there for some reason. I'm not really sure why, but I mean, hey, it lets us skip Jester Boots again, which is really cool. And then this section here, kind of a timed bit. Yeah, sorry.
I was just gonna say a little bit more on the air swimming. So you get in that air swimming state by swimming out the side of a body of water at a certain kind of downward angle, and so that invisible bit of water out there is just kind of a chunk that's just sitting there that you can swim out the side of really easy. It's very convenient. Yeah.
You can also do the air swim glitch during the final boss fight. Which we actually won't be seeing in this run, and we can talk about that a bit later. But you can do it in the final boss fight and just fly around the boss arena, and it's really fun. And then right here we got a little bit of
tried that before.
And it's pretty easy to set up, actually. It's a lot of fun. So we have a flipping tile puzzle. This thing upset me greatly when I was playing this casually, just because we're on a bit of a time limit because the water is going to suffocate us if we're in here for too long. Yeah, you can see you're starting to feel lightheaded. Luckily, there's only 3 buttons we need to hit. Not all of the tubes in here are ones with buttons. And this door takes forever.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
We're not in a hurry or anything.
Totally not. Yeah, this area is kind of meant to be like sort of like the final like hardest area of the game, but you can with like the interconnected paths between worlds as well as the sequence breaks, we can kind of tackle objectives in any order that we wish. Although we kind of wait to do some things before others just because it lets us get the horn as well as these glider wings that we'll get to see really abused in a couple of later segments in the fort. Like, I don't remember the actual level of the name. I just call it Luna's Fortress.
The Gallery of Nightmares, because she's a troubled artist.
Yeah, right. I forgot.
But we have cleansed the pits of despair. Look at how happy the background is. Look at how happy Finn is.
Yay.
Everything's better now.
Exactly.
Oh wait, but we're still in the Gallery of Nightmares, so we're sad again.
No.
You hate to see it.
But we can go see Jacob down here.
Yeah, so there's just this like creepy monster thing underneath this section named Jacob. I don't think he actually hurts you.
No, he'll like if you stand down here, he'll slowly wriggle towards you. Like he's that little blue blobby thing here too. Here, like you can touch him. He doesn't hurt you. He's just vibing. He's a friend.
Thanks, Jacob.
A menacing looking friend, but a friend.
Yeah. Something you're seeing Mouse do here a little bit as well is mid-roll, you're just going to see a tail swipe into another roll input. This allows you to, while you're rolling, kind of regain that maximum speed. And if it allows you to get up to that maximum speed without having to do like a jump and a downward tail swing in order to build up that speed. So that egg right there is fake. Don't trust it. We're going to go... There's a couple of moments here where we're going to have like these pickups that we can grab that we can throw at a painting in order to correct the image. And that opens up like new areas. We go ahead and grab the gloves so we can open up these two different hallways. And then there's going to be an egg that we do right here. We actually do this one in any person as well, where we need to smack these different symbols. And then eventually it will reveal the egg for us. And then we're going to see another egg. Oh my goodness, the swag. I was like, oh, you're going to do like the pogo there and then cancel it with the pause menu. But nope, you hit the really hard, annoying strat. So I guess I'll just shut up.
I mean, I don't get that super consistently, but I try for it because I could usually turn it into the horn bounce pretty easy.
Yeah, this game's super hard to be consistent at with its movement, just because like you are kind of like rolling around in such a way where depending on the way that you hit a slope or like the way that you're rolling, it will kind of impact like the jumps that you get or like the lines that you'll have to hold. And you also just have so much speed, and it's really tough. Okay, here we're gonna see some light wing pumps here. So with that glide that we got, if we just kind of tap the glide button, it'll put us into this like downward descending state that gives us those red sparkles, meaning we're getting up to max speed. And we can use that kind of like glide tapping right there in order to bridge further distances than we're supposed to. So there's a bunch of platforming we're supposed to do there that we can just completely ignore that technique. And so we need to hit those three statues in order to open that door. We kind of get them staring away from the coffin.
Rattles.
Yeah, rattles.
Yeah, Luna glued eyeballs to those statues, and it's kind of freaking rattles out, understandably so.
And we're going to head into the wasteland here. There's just an egg out here. I don't know if there's like a greater puzzle here, or it's just a matter of like looking around for the egg until you find it. But if you go the same direction, it's just there.
Yeah, the dead trees point different ways, and I think you can follow which way they're pointing, and it eventually leads you to here. Like, see, this tree is just pointing directly at the egg.
Yeah, but those mummies are going to hunt you down if you don't, so...
Well, they're just friends. They like looking at the moon.
I respect the hustle. I respect that.
All right, grabbing the glider here.
Yeah, so this is another thing that we need to throw at a painting to open up a new area, but it also allows us to like do this really long kind of glide. So we're going to go ahead and get to the top of this section and then glide over this way, and then this way we can take it towards the Mr. Carrington painting. Yeah,
and then as everyone has in their art gallery, lava roller coaster.
Exactly.
Naturally.
There's going to be some really tricky movement in this room. We're going to pass through a couple of times where it's just like we need to hit these tail bounces and then make use of that gliding tech I was talking about to just barely make our way over that edge, just like that. Nicely done. And then we get this one right here, we get uppies, and then there we go. Nice. That is much harder than it looks. There's like a ton of little stuff that you have to get right there on those angles to make that work. And then this is one of my favorite segments in this level, which is Coils of Agony. It's just this really cool kind of platforming segment where you're kind of meant to go around the coils and like avoid the fire columns. But with the tail bouncing, we can take a really creative route through here.
Mm-hmm. And in this area, everything is snakes.
So we're going to get top of the eyeball here. It's going to get us just enough to clear over the fire here. And then we're going to do another one right here. And there's a pillar of flame coming up where we might hit into it. Oh, you actually just avoided it outright. Nicely done. So right. Oh,
didn't quite get the knockback cancel I wanted. Oh, well.
Yeah, you can use the pause menu to cancel knockback, similar to the way you can cancel your vertical. It's really tricky. There we go.
Finn's having a time. It's okay.
Yeah, there's
Sometimes
no...
these cycles are mean.
Yeah. There's no HP meter, but what there is pits of doom, and if you take a hit, you'll get sent pretty far back before you can redirect. So we're at 20 eggs now. That's about half of the eggs in the game, which is crazy because we're just flying through this. And another pause right there to cancel the pogo animation, just so we can get back into our rolling speed as fast as possible. And then a really tight jump. Nice.
If I could get it like right on the corner there, sometimes I could get Finn to just go straight over without having to unroll, which is really fun. I almost got it, but not quite.
Yeah, but like just controlling that roll as well as doing a roll into a jump just at the right time. It's so hard to like Mouse is just making this look so easy, but just like doing like, I wouldn't even say like the basics, but just like the fundies for this game are so hard. Also, that painting is so cute. Just a happy little guy with his little fish friend.
So many good little guys in this game.
Well, Luna made this egg easy on purpose, so that was nice of her. And we are now done with the Gallery of Nightmares.
Yep, and so, like I mentioned earlier, there's a bunch of like interconnected pathways between different levels in this game. So we're gonna take this to the Airborne Armada, aka Mr. Carrington. This is like probably my favorite level in the game, just because of how creative like the concept for it is.
I love all the little guys in this area.
Yeah. So the conceit of this level is that it's a big living ship. It looks like a Banjo-Kazooie character, if anything. I mean, this game wears the influence on its sleeve, right? But especially this area, right? And so after we get this egg right here, there's normally the way the level progression works is that you can see all these like infections with the red infections with the eyeballs on them. Are making Mr. Carrington very sick. And so once you throw health potions at all of them, Mr. Carrington's like, thank you so much. I'm going to let you start to steer the ship and also activate a switch, right? But the gate that lowers down after you do this is actually way too short. So we can just do another tail bounce over it. And so this is going to allow us to tilt the ship in one direction, which will cause the wings on the outside to also tilt directions. So the whole ship is going to tilt. So this is going to affect the way that we're platforming, right? And then we're going to hit this heart button right here, and we need to get through that heart-shaped valve quickly enough, which is no easy task, because we need to do a tail bounce to get up and over here, and then we're going to start doing that glide into some roll movement, and then there's going to be a bouncy friend right here. Into the hole, just
narrowly
like that.
avoid those scritches.
Yeah.
It will knock you back and ruin your day.
This level's okay. So this has a really funny strat. There's normally 4 like electrodes that you need to hit here in a specific order, but the egg is actually just up in the air, hidden within the geometry up there. So you can just tail bounce up to it and skip that whole puzzle completely. Nicely done.
And then go for a little swim.
Exactly.
The blood pool.
And the
Everyone's
code
favorite
red.
swimming pool. Yes.
All right. This is kind of an underrated little segment with how hard it is. Oh, good save. It's just you've got these spinning saw blades that are evil and upsetting. There's a way to get through that really, really fast. That's like super, super tight. They're all on set cycles as soon as you load into this part of the level. So
Yeah, those are called squitch. Hold on, words. Scritches. They're called
There you go.
scritches. There we go. I got it. And yeah, I think like lore-wise, they're Mr. Carrington's friends. They scratch his back. Like, that's what their little collectible card says. And then this is the entire reason we tilt the ship. We need to grab this bottle of medicine here and take it out here. And so since the ship is tilted, we can climb up this spine of Mr. Carrington's wing in order to get up into this area where, something smells good. Oh no! But it's fine because we have a bottle of medicine. So we need to tilt the ship in order to get this bottle of medicine up here. Otherwise, we would have needed to grab another ability from Sage, a water bubble ability, to extinguish this, and that is slow, and we don't need the water ability otherwise. So we skipped grabbing that ability from Sage, which is why we tilted the ship.
Also, just casually going into one of the sickest movement parts in the entire run, where you leave that room with the red sparkles, so you start with a lot of running speed there, and then you immediately pivot left and just cut the corner. It is possible to grab that egg, and then during the egg grab animation, just fall off the edge and die. It has happened to be so much, and it's even worse when the ship is tilted at an angle, so...
Yeah, and actually if it happens like during the egg collect cutscene, the death plane does not trigger, so you just end up stuck down there, and you have to like kind of like navigate up the side of the geometry to find the death plane. It's fun.
Yeah, so we got one more egg here, I believe, before we do another quit and load.
Yeah.
So a fun little bit of platforming here, just like that. Save and quit. That's going to take us back to the hub.
And now we're going to take a little quick detour here back to Lost Leaf Lake, that first little area that we visited in the run. Gonna knock an apple out of the tree and then just leave it there for reasons that will become clear later. There we go.
Nice.
Yeah.
So like we were talking about earlier, you can either do like a hold still kind of setup for a lot of these tail bounces, or you can do the running setup, which is way harder because the direction you get sent by a tail bounce is based on like what direction is forward, if that makes sense when you do it. And you want your forward to be up, yeah.
And like
Sorry.
terrain and your speed affects it a lot. So basically, if you want to do like one of those run-ups and it isn't on like a flat surface, you need to find a specific setup for every jump.
Yeah, so there's going to be 3 eggs here that aren't ours. They are eggs of another character in the game, and we need to get all 3 and return them in order to unfreeze a good portion of this level. Interestingly enough, you actually don't really need to do this in the any % route because there is a hole in the ice that you can actually use to reach all the underwater segments here.
Oh, by the way, there's that apple we dropped out of the tree earlier. So for some reason, when you drop an apple out of a tree in the Lost Leaf Lake area, and just leave it there, don't pick it up. It's still overloaded over here when you change areas. Although most of them aren't grabbable, but that one is. Yeah, and this is useful because we need it for the next egg here, real quick.
Yeah, we have a friend who's very hungry.
The gobbler! Exclamation mark.
Look at them.
Loves apples so much he's got apples for eyes.
Yeah, so we got 30 of our eggs now, so we're 3/4 of the way there, which like doesn't like seems like we still got a lot to get, but it's gonna like these next couple of eggs are gonna go by real fast.
Yeah, I think at this point, kind of the worst of the run is over, which was really the Gallery of Nightmares. So
yeah, I can't overstate how like not only hard the movement system is, but just like especially Gallery of Nightmares with some of its geometry is just brutal. Mm-hmm. Okay, so for this whole section, like there's supposed to be a lot of like platforming where you roll up these ledges and like ramps and stuff like that. But you can just tail bounce. There's also a button you're supposed to hit that's like a secret button underneath the table. I had no idea about that button, so I just learned how to tail bounce to get that egg casually. And then we're gonna do a big climb here in order to get to the egg at the top of this section and skip a sub area. Oh wait, no, we're doing this first. That's right. We come back.
Yeah. Yeah, we're skipping this awful ramp full of urchins. And then this is my favorite egg as far as like the graphics go. It's a very pretty egg. But yeah, doing a little puzzle that we already know the answer to. And I love
Yeah.
the little butterfly seahorses.
Oh, that is pretty.
This game is so pretty. Like, if y'all need a
Agreed.
3D collectathon to play, like, please play this game. This game is like
$4 on Steam right now.
yeah, it's turbo on sale right now, and it's also there's not a lot of runners for this game, which is understandable because of its difficulty as like a speed game. But like, come on, like, we need more people playing this game. This game's peak.
Yeah, and like there are some easier strats for like doing the big bounces and stuff. Like you don't have to do the running roll ups. These stationary ones, once you kind of got the timing down, aren't too bad. And yeah, and you don't always have to go like Mach speed all the time. You can start out a little slower and work your way up once you get more comfortable controlling Finn.
Yeah, the skill ceiling on this game is just mind-boggling. But like you can adjust the skill for it or whatever you need. I also love the way this route works out because this allows you to go to the top of this section and just completely ignore the platforming. And there is a way to like kind of like do this bit in a way where you talk to the snowman while you grab the egg, which allows you a little faster movement out of there. But
Yeah, it's
like,
really hard to get.
It's
I've gotten
really
it like
annoying.
2 or 3 times total. And it's always unexpected, so I'm always like sitting there like waiting for the cutscene to play and just waste time save.
Yeah. He's gonna be like, ow.
Oh.
And he's just gonna leave.
Yeah.
Oh,
My
goodbye.
people need me.
Yeah, it's just we helped him up. He helped him out. He was a little stuck. We gave him some acupuncture. He's good.
Starfish is quite literally going to the stars.
He's actually still up there if you go up there and after you get your big wing upgrade.
No kidding.
And he has a little dialogue for you.
Yeah, the reward you get for getting all the eggs is wings that allow you like freeform flight, and it is so much fun to just like fly around and look for secrets.
Yeah. Right, and we are coming up to the last save and quit, and then a little bit of cleanup. So the end of the run's actually coming up pretty quickly. But first, we are going to go visit a couple of Porygon 2s who are stuck to the walls here, and they're going to try and laser beam us. But we have big jumps.
Yeah, so only 3 more eggs to go. So this is a category that doesn't actually require you to beat the final boss because the goal is just to get all 40 eggs as quickly as possible from a fresh save. So you don't get like an egg or anything like that for being the final boss. And now we're gonna go beat up the big block bully he's like the mighty wall. He's been here like the entire time, and like this is like the first thing you do in the game, and we wait till the very end of the run to do it, which is so funny.
Yeah, like you're supposed to like go grab your tail from Sage after you collect your first egg and go smack him, but we do that big jump at the waterfall and don't even pay attention to him until now.
All right, and this is maybe one of the scariest rooms just because there is so much, like, it is so easy to just not get the height you need and fall into a pit and explode.
And it's like right at the end too, so if you're on PB pace, you're all bundle of nerves. It's awful.
Yeah, that egg right there, number 38, is the really scary one IMO for this route. Like, there's like this one as well is a little bit spooky, but luckily you have the tail bounces to work with. This room is a nightmare in any percent. But yep, a couple more flutters with the glide right there. We got another egg up here, and then one more egg in the room that's normally right before the entrance to that frozen lake level. And then time will be coming up as soon as we grab that egg. So
yeah, like the second we touch it. So
yeah,
like coming up very soon
within 10 seconds. So get ready on time.
Less than that. And time.
Nicely done.
Gee.
That was a great run.
Ooh. Yeah, that
Very
went well.
clean.
So
What do you get for getting all the eggs then?
You get your upgraded wings that let you fly freely. I mean, I could go model them real quick.
Ooh. Yes, please.
They're all sparkly and stuff, but yeah, this was all eggs. Fun little. This is my one and only speed run that I have learned.
And what a run, too. That was really cool.
But yeah, thank you for having me on. I'm always happy to show this off, and thank you, Jaxler, for joining me on commentary.
Yeah, of course. Thank you for letting me be on here and share this moment with you. I can't express just how ridiculously hard this game is at a top level. So it's just like, yeah, it's just so cool to watch and be able to commentate as a part of it. So thank you for having me as just a lowly any percent runner who's like washed up. But
Oh, I don't think you're that washed up. But yeah, thank you. Yeah, thank you, everyone. Thank you for watching. And pick up this game if it's at all interesting. It's really cute. You basically barely saw a fraction of it. And, like, I didn't do any of the puzzles correctly. So you can figure those out for yourself.
Or the
Yeah.
final boss in this case, like you mentioned.
Yeah.
absolutely,
That's not even spoiled for you in this run.
exactly.
Which is good for me because during this run, I did pick up the game for $4 on Steam currently and install
Yeah.
it. So, you know, I'll play it. I will play it at some point myself and see that final boss. That being said, though, we do have one more run tonight. We have Legacy Kain Soul Reaver All Bosses by Jaxel here in the call. So we'll sign up for that in just a little bit, and we'll see y'all very soon for that. Welcome back to Do All the Things, everybody. The GDQ Hotfix show, all about Hermson Speedruns and completionist categories in general. I'm your host, Mr. Shasta, and we have our last SGDQ backup run right here. Once again, the entire backup list this event, absolutely stacked, really dang good. Every single run, it was amazing. Obviously, they could have fit so well into the main schedule. This run especially, very broken game, very broken run. Jax was really good at it. I'm excited to see it right here. Hello, Jaxler.
Hello, hi, I am Jaxler. This is Legacy of Kain Soul Reaver. If you've never seen this game before, this is a 3D action adventure from the minds of Crystal Dynamics. You probably know them for Tomb Raider series. They also made this game. And this game is turbo broken. I'm going to be showing you the all bosses run the unrestricted route, meaning that any glitch goes. And I think we're just good to go. So I'm going to start a count on 3 and we'll start time on go. 3, 2, 1, go. All right, welcome to Soul Reaver, everybody. So, first thing I want to mention right off the bat is that we are playing on the original release of Soul Reaver and not the remaster that came out in December. And they're kind of tracked as 2 separate games / leaderboards. I just prefer to play on the original release, and I'll kind of explain why once we get into some of the more broken stuff. But this is being played on the original release of the game on PC. So it also came out on PlayStation 1 and Dreamcast, but we're playing on the PC port for the faster loads and also just the ability to rebind buttons, which is really helpful for some of this tech. So this is the all bosses run. So in addition to just beating the final boss, we need to take on all 4 of the vampire brothers of Raziel here. It's Melchiah, Rahab, Zephon, and Duma. So we need to take care of all of those 4 in addition to the requirements for beating the game. Normally you don't even need to bother with any of them because this game's just that broken. But this route forces you to go take care of those. So it honestly kind of lends itself out to be like this really kind of well-rounded route that's like, I'm really excited to show off. This game is so fun to mess around with. So, okay, so the other thing as well is unrestricted, meaning that any and all glitches are allowed. Like we were talking about earlier, this game is like omega broken. Like, we're going to be seeing some tech right off the bat here. But as far as like the game's movement goes, this PC port actually lost analog movement going into the PC version, so I only have like 8 directions of movement, not including my camera. And so I'm going to be steering a good bit with the camera, as well as doing what probably looks like some funky movement as well here, where I'm kind of just like tapping left a little bit in order to reorient, and then I'm going to use my camera to kind of turn me around. And so this game actually, for its camera, has like 2 distinct left-right camera turn buttons. And because of that, and it's going to impact the way that I move, as well as be helpful for a glitch I'm going to be doing in a little bit. We're also going to pick up this warp gate. This is required, but this is going to be a fast travel point that is going to be used all over the place in this run. And we're going to be doing a lot of jumping. So jumping at the start is the fastest form of movement. We just move a bit faster mid-air than we do when we're doing our standard running animation. And so at this point in the game, we're kind of just getting introduced to like basic gameplay mechanics. There's a lot of cutscenes kind of front-loaded here. That's one of the biggest differences between the original version and the remasters. They actually let you skip the cutscenes in the remaster. No such thing in this original version, which you would think would make this like kind of like the not ideal platform to run the game on. But there's a lot of exclusive stuff to this version of the game that makes it so funny, so flashy. Right here we're being told about like how the health system works, so we can consume souls in order to feed ourselves and stay healthy, I suppose. The strat I'm going to do here is I'm going to line myself up in the middle of this soul well here, just about here, and so that as the souls come out, they immediately pop into Raziel's body, so we can skip the animation of like the soul actually spawning, and it's just a little bit faster. Then I'm going to do a sideways jump here to avoid a ledge grab into our first glitch tech of the run, which is called a double crouch jump, just like that. So you're normally not supposed to be able to double jump in this game. And so what I'm doing is a trick called the breakout glitch. If you crouch and then start holding the 2 camera buttons, it's basically like causing the game to spring load, wanting to zoom into like quasi first person mode. If you then hit tab in like a very specific way to like pull up the glitch select menu, what that will do is allow you to walk around in that first person mode. And when you let go of those 2 buttons, hold on a second, let me catch this guy. There we go. When you let go of those 2 buttons, there you go. It took its sweet time getting over there. When you let go of those 2 buttons in that glitch state, it will break you out of whatever animation you're doing. And so in that case right there, I broke out of a crouch jump and did another crouch jump out of that animation. And so this kind of like breakout glitch is going to be the backbone for a bunch of things we're going to see, especially in the early game. You can use it to pretty much cancel any animation that you want to. The big one obviously being the crouch jump, because then you can do a double jump. That's really not what the game was designed to deal with. And then right here we're getting kind of introduced to the mechanic of being able to shift between the different realms. There's a physical realm and material realm, and the world and things like that change when you swap between the two, and you have different properties in each version. We're getting kind of just walk through the basics of the game here, but coming up, we're going to be, once we get past like this last stretch of like cutscene, things are going to start to get really, really broken really, really fast. Another big thing here is that water will kill us, at least in our current state. We're going to get an ability later that will make us immune to the effects of water burning us like acid. But we're going to jump over this pit here, and then you're going to see me do a breakout glitch again. But this time, there's going to be a wooden door I'm opening instead. This is going to allow me to cancel the animation of Raziel pulling open the door, but it's going to keep the door actually continuing to open. It's going to look really weird, but essentially it's going to let me run through the door as it's opening. Just like that. So you can see I can run around, run right through the door during what's normally a door opening animation, and run right into the next cutscene. Alright, I'm going to attempt to describe what you're about to see in this next bit during this cutscene. So I'm going to do a double crouch jump to jump over a cutscene trigger. This will keep these enemies sort of like non-aggroed. And then I'm going to do a setup to get a pushable block to crush these 2 enemies, and then overlap 2 cutscenes on top of each other, once again using the breakout glitch. Come on. There we go. So there's the double crouch jump, getting us over the cutscene trigger. And then I'm doing crouch pickup. Oh, okay. This is going to be awkward. It ate my input here. Hold on a second. If they are still on aggro, then we're good. They are not on aggro. That's really tragic. Okay, so I'm going to... How do I want to deal with this? Yeah, this is just doomed slightly. Okay, we're going to have to beat these guys up the normal way, unfortunately. So normally I'm trying to skip all of this by killing them instantly with the block, but we're just going to have to do this the old-fashioned way, which is a little annoying. There we go, we're just going to toss that guy in the water, and then we'll go do the other guy real quick. So, yeah, that's a little unfortunate that happened. I was essentially trying to do crouch pickups on that block in order to prevent that from happening in the first place, which was triggering that cutscene at all. But that's okay. This is the sort of the normal way you're supposed to do that. And then this is going to disable that wall in a second. And then we'll just go ahead and push this block into place. And then we're going to see a really ridiculous glitch here in just a moment. I need this one spot over. I'm trying to remember where I need to put this now, because normally I moved the block already, so it's like a little funky. But we are going to go ahead and do a very broken glitch here called time stop. So I've situated Raziel between 2 loading planes, essentially, and then pulled up the glitch select menu as he, like, idles between them, which allows me to walk around with this glitch select menu open. And so after tabbing and untabbing next to a pushable block, it'll allow me to do something really silly here. So I just did what's called a time stop teleport. So we just shot through that wall, And so what's happening there is by tabbing and untabbing next to the block, it registers me as standing next to something that can be pushed and pulled around, which changes like my contextual button inputs, right? And that allows me to essentially remote trigger the push and pulling block animation from anywhere. And because we unloaded the block, it just causes the animation to just warp us through the wall completely. So yeah, so that basically allowed us to skip a 2-minute long cutscene. One of the big advantages of that time stop glitch that you saw where I'm walking around with the glyph menu open is that it prevents cutscenes from loading in. So we just saved about 2 minutes by doing that trick. And so we're gonna do another door glitch right there. And then you can normally just like jump over this with a regular crouch jump, but I'm gonna go for the swag version of it, which is where you do a double jump just like that and you go around it that way. That's a couple of seconds faster. A little optimization that I started doing. And then coming up, there's going to be a fight that we're supposed to go do, but I'm going to attempt to do an out of bounds with a double crouch jump and then glide around to get back inbounds and then hopefully load in the next area. So I'm going to be quiet for just a moment here so I can focus on this because it's a little tricky. Yeah, a little low on the height. That happens sometimes. And then we'll go ahead and give this another shot. That should be good. There we go. So we go up and over that wall right there, land on this ledge, hit this, and then turn around. So we had to like go back and then forth there because in this game, you have to go over certain loading triggers for the next area to load in. And so if you bypass a loading zone that you definitely needed to hit, it can cause the next area to just not load and you'll just get stuck. So we had to go backwards there for a bit. And this is one of my favorite, like, kind of, like, non-glitched movement well, it's glitched because we're doing the double crouch jumps, but there's some really fun movement through here. We're going to see a lot more of this door glitch. On these metal doors right here, when you do the breakout, you just start walking straight through it. I staggered my movement a little bit there to manip that enemy to be out of my way so I could set up another double crouch jump to skip a spiral staircase. We're going to hit this lever right here, which is going to open this door. And then we're going to do an intentional swap over to the spectral realm in a bit. Certain cutscenes don't play when you are in the spectral realm. And so by doing this early, this is also going to allow us to grab a heal here. There's just going to be a soul that always spawns here. Going to pick that up. And we're going to do another breakout jump here in order to get to this pillar. This is going to let us get up and around. There's normally a door you can only open in the material realm there, but we have to do that jump there because we're in the spectral realm. We're going to go up here, do a crouch jump into a regular jump to skip over another pretty long cutscene. A lot of the big like skips you're going to see are just me like skipping cutscenes. But there's going to be some really cool platforming skips that we get to do with the double crouch jump here. Come on, Raz. There we go. Game does not want to give me breakout glitch today. Holy crap. There we go. We're going to go down the spiral staircase. We're going to get another warp here into Milkaya's domain. We're going to use this once or twice just to save on some backtracking. And so we could be headed straight to the first boss here, Milkaya. But we're going to do something a little bit different instead. We're going to be sequence breaking to get an upgrade early called the Force Glyph. We're going to swap to Spectral just to save me some trouble later. There's normally a big like puzzle segment in this area. You can kind of consider this whole area like the first dungeon of the game if you're thinking like a Zelda game. So we just skipped a ton of puzzles right there by doing a double crouch jump instead of using the normal block puzzle. And then we're going to do some cool platforming here. We're going to get out of bounds with a double crouch jump. Come on. And then just jump around just like that. We're going to go into this tunnel that's unloaded. Normally we cannot access this tunnel until we've defeated Milkaya and gotten his ability. But by doing that out of bounds sequence, we can get here early. And this is going to allow us to get the Force Glyph. So glyph spells in this game are also used through that same tab menu that I've been using to break the game. And they let you cast spells that can help you deal with some enemies. This first one that you get is really kind of bad casually. It just kind of knocks enemies back and isn't super useful in casual play. But it is by far the most broken thing in this game. It is so useful. It is pretty much what makes this run really special, IMO. At least for the original release of the game. So I'm going to attempt to do something as we make our way to this force glyph, where I'm going to attempt to pause on the frame that I pick it up so I can save and quit and leave, which skips the glyph acquisition cutscene. It's really tricky. Again, it's like a really tight frame window. Let me see if I can set this up. It was a frame late. So we're just gonna eat the 15 seconds, no big deal. We can just, we're actually stuck here. We can't get out because we don't have Milkaya's Metroidvania upgrade. So we're gonna have to save and quit to get back out of here. That's why we wanted that warp point as well. But now that we have this, we're gonna be able to do some really, really silly stuff and completely break through this game. So, gonna go ahead and save and quit and then reload here. So the force glyph is going to allow us to do some of the most broken movement tech I've ever done in a video game, which is called the flight glitch. So what you can do is with the breakout glitch, you can actually cancel the startup of the force glyph's casting animation. If you then take a step forward and then press the glyph menu again, you'll start spinning up as it tries to finish the animation. But if you then interrupt it, you can remain in like a super speed state from like that is the game puts you in. So you can see me kind of like do that step forward, and now we can fly. And so oh yeah, baby.
Yeah.
And so the flight itself is done by a pretty specific combination of inputs. It's a crouch jump into a hold space to glide into a hit the sneak button. This is going to let us fly up and out of bounds here. We can then pivot around to the back of this room. And if we do this right, we can land in this tunnel. That was a little short, but we're good. And then we can jump around the side here. And what I'm trying to do is make it so that I can skip all the puzzles in this section. But again, I missed a loading trigger, so I need to go all the way back up here until I see the things again. There we go. We're going to take this a little safe. There we go. We're going to take that a little lower, and this is going to let us glide into here. I'm going to step back again for another loading trigger. And we made it to Milkaya. There we go. Awesome. So that skips an unholy amount of block pushing. I don't even know where to begin. This game loves its block puzzles. Holy crap. But we made our way to Milkaya here. This is going to be our first boss. We've got a little bit of time here while Milkaya just kind of makes faces at us. Shasta, do you have anything you wanted to like plug or any questions? How are you holding up? This game's a lot.
It's definitely a lot, but I think it's really cool, honestly.
Yeah.
It's a very broken run. I've seen runs before, but I love the explanation so far.
Thank you.
That being said, I do have some announcements I could read here. So, for instance, there's actually openings for PAX West right now. Games are quickly return to PAX West from August 29th to September 1st. Submit your runs by July 27th for a chance to showcase your run live in Seattle. Selected runners will receive an event badge as well. Visit gq.gg/submit for more info. That's something I'm hoping to go to myself, so hell yeah.
Yeah, I went last year and it was a lot of fun. I would definitely recommend it.
Oh, I've only been to PAX East before, never West, so that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
So that's time for one more announcement?
Yeah, one more.
Alright, I'll make it quick. Games Are Quick is hiring right now. We're looking for new showrunners for the fall 2025 Hotfix season. If you have experience playing and hosting Speedrun shows or events, love to hear from you. Visit gamesarequick.com/jobs for more info. Applications closed July 20th, very soon.
Yeah, 2 days from now. Get those in. I just got mine
Absolutely.
in. You should too. All right, so for this fight, I'm going to start by pausing real quick before jumping up here. This is hopefully going to manipulate Milkaya into that corner right there, which should force him to just walk straight into the grates just like that. We need to do that twice before we can do the final sort of hit. Milkaya likes to be very disrespectful, as I like to say. He likes to take his sweet time walking around. That first hit is really the troublesome one, but now I can see he's starting to come around that way. So once I can confirm that he's on his way, I can go ahead and hold this open and just wait for him to get here. Okay, it's actually being very nice to me this fight, which is grateful because I've had that one fight at the very start not quite go my way. And so that's the second hit. And we're going to lure him into the center of the arena and pull the lever, and that's going to be our first fight taken care of. So I just got to make sure that I go to the opposite edge here and then turn around and not move too much because sometimes, right there, he'll like to go to the side. So I'm gonna. So he's gonna squeeze his way through the grates here. And then I'm going to do a little crouch before I interact with that lever. That's something you'll see me do a lot with any kind of interactable, or anytime I need to stop, I'm actually going to do a crouch input beforehand. And that's because whenever you like are running in a direction and you let go, Raziel kind of like skids to a halt. But if you crouch, you skip that little skid animation and are able to interact with things right away. So I'll do that anytime I'm about to like phase shift or about to set up another flight glitch. You'll see me do that little crouch input a lot. Just a tiny little like time save, but it saves like a half second or so every time you do it, and it adds up a lot over the course of the run. So that's Melchiah. We hit him with the NutriBullet, and this is gonna give us the first of our Zelda dungeon items, for lack of a better term. Melchiah's Soul allows us to, in the spectral realm, phase through metal grates. So you kind of saw him phasing through stuff during the fight. We're gonna get the ability to do that ourselves. And this is going to allow us to basically make our way straight over to Kain, or the first Kain encounter, which is what I would normally do. But as a treat, I'm going to do things a little bit out of order. It's a little bit slower, technically, and it's a bit riskier, but it's really funny. And this run is already kind of cooked, so we're going to do it the fun way. Normally, I would go straight to Kain. But instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go fight Duma first. Duma is normally the 4th boss in like the intended boss order, but we're going to go ahead and fight him second.
And why not, you know?
Exactly.
Why not?
We're going to make use of that Abyss Warp to kind of get back to sort of like the main overworld. And then we're going to be seeing even more uses of the flight glitch. And then we'll be, in a little bit, seeing our first use of something called Fly Stop. So Fly Stop is a combination of the flight glitch and Time Stop, which are normally supposed to be like mutually exclusive because you cannot cast spells while you're in the Time Stop glitched state. But we figured out a way to do it, and that's by setting up the flight glitch and sort of priming it, then getting Time Stop, and then doing that like step forward to reactivate the spell cast. And so if you do it in those separate steps, you can actually get flight during Time Stop, which completely revolutionized how this run works, especially 100%. So we're going to prime the flight glitch. You're going to hear the animation start to cast. Nice, we got first try Time Stop. And now we got Fly Stop set up. So you're also going to notice that enemies aren't going to be really moving all that much. That's because time is literally frozen during Time Stop. I mean, go figure. There's like a 2-minute long cutscene at the start here. But normally we don't have a good way of getting past all of these barriers while in Time Stop. So we make use of the flight in order to get ourselves up here. We're actually going to take a different route. We're going to go right here and then tab in and out. This is going to deload this blast door. And then there we go. So we got through that segment, nice. And so essentially the way this dungeon is supposed to work is that you're supposed to do kind of like this big wraparound puzzle to gain access to this room. And then after you do the sequence I'm doing right now, it will like explode and blow up in that blast door. But in Time Stop, if you are in a adjacent loading zone and then walk into a new one, not all of the actors will load in properly. So we can actually walk right through the door's collision and then deactivate Time Stop and then get back normal control. There's a very specific way you have to do that too, because of a weird like cutscene trigger interaction in another room, where if you don't do that properly, you will not be able to do anything like glitchy with the glyph select menu for like the rest of the play session. And then we've got a really fun flight path right here. We are just going to fly right into that cutscene just like that. If this flight glitch looks fun, that's because it is. This is the big reason why I prefer to play this version as a speedrun compared to the remaster, is this actually... the flight glitch kind of works in situations in one specific spot in the remaster, but otherwise it doesn't really work outside of the OG version, which is... I just love the flight glitch so much. So I'm going to set up the speed glitch there because it actually causes your fall speed to be faster too. And I use that so I don't have to wait as long to touch back on ground, so I can set up the next flight glitch. And now we're already on our way to Duma here. So I'm going to do another flight glitch right here. Take a step over to the side so I don't accidentally ledge grab that obelisk. We're going to do the breakout glitch to cancel the door opening animation so that I can jump over another cutscene trigger that normally plays as you enter Duma's boss arena here. So we're gonna take these three barbecue skewers out of his bones, and there we go. So this fight is pretty tricky. So one thing to note as well with that cutscene trigger, by the way, it is a one-sided cutscene trigger. So on the way out, I don't need to worry about it, but on the way in, it will bother me. It's really bizarre. I've never seen a one-sided cutscene trigger before in a video game. It's so bizarre.
It's weird.
So before I entered the fight, I set up my camera so it's like basically so that the camera is directly facing Duma here, so that I can immediately turn around and have camera control. I essentially have to like do this. The way this fight works is we lure him back to the place where we blew up the oven, and we have to blow him up with the fire, right? But I need to know where he is at all times, so I need to essentially run backwards. And I have to do this really tight tightrope dance where I'm close enough to him where he doesn't like try to do this like fist into the ground attack, but not too close to where he slows down or tries to hit me. So it's this really tight balancing act. So I'm gonna focus for pretty much the entire manip here. And I was gonna try to do that. There we go. Sometimes he can be really rude and get stuck on stuff. Or do these slow walks. I know this just looks like I'm walking in patterns, but it's like, this is actually really tough to get right. Okay. Whenever he goes around corners, he likes to do a little extra step. So you gotta be a little careful there. There we go. And once he's in this hallway, you're pretty much good. I'm just gonna... Again, I let him actually get too close there, so he did that slow walk, so... It's this tightrope act, right? 1, 2, wait. He's gonna fist. There we go. And there we go. That's the fight. All right, we lived. So the reason
Nice.
Usually you save Duma for last, and that's because you'll have the Soul Reaver. So when you don't have the Soul Reaver and you're in the material realm, your health slowly trickles down over time. So you have a lot less health to work with if you accidentally take a hit from Duma, like I did. But by doing Duma first, it has a really funny unintended side effect when we make our way over to Kain for the first time, which is going to look really, really funny. So this gives us the ability to constrict. We can like run around certain objects in order to like turn them and activate them. You only really see it in 100% because it opens a couple important switches. So we're going to do another save and quit to because we don't have a good way of getting back through that cutscene trigger that I skipped with the fly stop glitch. So we're going to get in and out of here.
This energy manifests
All right,
itself
gonna
in
take a
both
quick sip.
spectral and material realms, and in the physical.
And then we're going right into the first Kain fight. So there's going to be a bit more flight movement that we're going to see as soon as we do the save and quit as well. But instead of going to the left back towards Duma, we're going to go to the right.
Your brother Zephon's
And we're going to get talked to again. There's a lot of yapping in these games. That's kind of like a notorious thing with like the Kain series. It's just like a lot of cutscenes, a lot of dialogue. It's really well written. And like this game alone, as well as Soul Reaver 2, are really worth going and playing. Again, they just got remastered in December. So I would very highly recommend going and checking those remasters out. They're really, really good. And they let you skip the cutscenes as well if that's something you're more interested in. But this game holds up super duper well. It's a lot of fun. So we're going to go ahead and phase back into the material realm here in just a moment. And then something I've been adding in lately are these flights in these tiny little hallways. Setting up a flight glitch with a ceiling over your head is one of the most annoying things on the goddamn planet. But if you can do it there, it saves a lot of time and movement. So I'm doing something here called wing smashing, where I am hitting. I have it bound to like left bracket. My keyboard buttons are messed up, by the way. You don't want to see those. But essentially, I'm using like the hover animation and releasing it after a specific delay. doing that lets you build up a ton of speed for some reason, and that wing smashing trick is actually possible on remaster as well. It's just the initial flight glitch that isn't, if that makes sense. So we're gonna
see you T-pose through a gate there. Is that what happened?
Yeah, that's the ability we got from Mokaya. So that's intended gameplay.
Oh, okay.
So he's willing himself through, if that makes sense. He's like, oh, using the force, right?
Yeah, I gotcha.
And so we did an out of bounds there because we're in the spectral realm to skip more cutscenes. But we can't use the flight glitch when we're in the spectral realm because we can't cast the force glyph spell, at least normally. And so we got to do that shift out and then kind of that weird parkour bit and then into the door for the first Kain fight. All right, so this is where things are going to get weird. So this room is not only the boss arena for the first Kain fight, but on top of that, this is also an area you can come back to later for a character named Ariel, who will give you advice. I believe Ariel is actually voiced by someone notable from Breaking Bad, if I remember correctly. Somebody mentioned that in my chat the other day, and it kind of blew my mind. But typically the way that works is that when you want to talk to her, you stand on this dish in the middle, right? And normally this trigger doesn't activate until after you beat Kain for the first time. But if you beat Duma first, it also activates that. So Raziel's gone. We're gonna hear her talk to us. Damn you, Kain. There he is. And now I have movement during this cutscene, which I am not supposed to be able to. So you can do some very, very, very silly looking things with this. Oh, I constricted him as well. So you can do some really funny stuff. You can like goof around.
Your lifespan is a flicker.
Yeah, so it loses like about 5 seconds to do this just because you get that extra aerial dialogue. But it's really funny. And it's also like the way that you route 100% as well. Hey chat, do you have games on your phone?
Action you would take in my position, I would choose. Look around you, Raziel. See what has become.
Where am I?
Our empire.
I got lost.
Witness the end of an age.
Yeah, but it also unlocks these healing platforms as well, so if you mess up, it even just makes the fight easier as well. I'm gonna go ahead and position myself for the Kain fight. So the way this Kain fight works is that he is going to essentially teleport on the opposite side of the room where you are. So we can actually perfectly manip him every single time consistently. So if you stand in the same spot, it will force him on the outer edge, kind of like back towards the door where we entered. And we can hit him, run around, and then going back. And then that way we can just kind of loop him for 3 hits. Sorry, I lost my train of thought there for a second. So I'm going to turn the camera around. He's going to pop in. Poke. Poke. Oh, I beefed it, but that's okay because I now know where he's gonna spawn. And that's the fight.
Nice.
Easy as that. So yeah, we've got another good bit of cutscene here. There's going to be some flashing lights coming up, especially when Raziel gets the Soul Reaver for the first time. So I will let you know when we are past the flashing lights. But Shasta, if you have anything you wanted to plug, or if anybody has any... Also, as well, if anyone in the chat has any questions about this game, this run, maybe the remasters even, or anything about this game, let me know. I'd be happy to answer questions, because we got some time. But Shasta, how are you holding up?
I did pretty well. I just want to follow up real quickly and say that apparently Ariel's voice actor is Skylar White in Breaking Bad, apparently.
Oh, okay.
In a gun.
Interesting. I have not watched Breaking
cool.
Bad, so...
It's a good show. I recommend it. Same Better Call Saul. But yeah, I can plug some stuff real quickly though. We have our Hotfix summer merch. The collection is live for that now. If you're a Hotfix fan, make sure to head over to thea.com/GDQ. Check out our brand new Hotfix shirt, keychain, and sticker pack. Draw on sale as well at SGDQ, and they're all very good. Like, oh my goodness, the stickers especially. Whew, fire. If you want to see us come up with Hotfix this week and next week as well too, check out this week's schedule and explore our full season lineup at gdq.gg/Hotfix.
Yeah, make sure you all sub to GDQ's YouTube as well, by the way. Just because like GDQ puts on stuff like Hotfix, but also if you want to catch stuff like you know, like mainline GDQ runs, the PAX West and East stuff, as well as some of the panels that we did as most recent GDQ. You can find those there as well. The flashing lights are over, by the way.
Too.
Yeah, the flashing lights warning is over, by the way. We have the Soul Reaver now, so we're good. We're going to get introduced to Ariel again. This is where you're supposed to meet her, even though we already talked to her, which is so funny to me. But coming up after this, I'm going to be doing a pretty tricky flight line into another setup for fly stop. There's normally this big section at what's called the Seraphim Tombs, where you kind of learn a bit more about Raziel's past before he even got turned into a vampire. Because he got turned into a vampire, and then he got turned into a Soul Reaver because he got thrown into hell. And so, as a result, yeah, he's messed up now. But normally, you're supposed to go through like the Seraphim Tomb and like learn a bunch of stuff. There's like a bunch of cutscene there. I'm going to skip the entire section by using an exit as an entrance. And so that requires the use of fly stop in order to avoid the cutscene triggers while also having the flight glitch. And so I should, for marathon safety, I should also probably save before I do this, just to be safe. Because sometimes some of these setups like to crash if I do them wrong. But we should be fine. If not, is what it be. The estimate is as generous as it is. It's like a 10-minute extra estimate for what's needed. Just because sometimes the game can crash, and especially if it crashes here, I have to take a big old walk of shame. So let me make a quick save. Alright, here we go. Starting out with the flight glitch. Alright, we're just gonna walk. And then here comes the flight stop setup. I'm gonna ask for some quiet time here because this one's pretty tricky. Oh, that's a weird camera angle. Okay, here we go. So we're gonna start by setting up the flight glitch and not proccing it. I have a visual cue I use on this wall. Whenever you see that screen flicker, that's when I'm trying to press tab. Alright, second try. And we're gonna wing smash till we get to here. Do a bunch of wing smashes here until I get my camera set up properly. And then we are just going to fly up this wall until it lets us through this grate at the top. And then we ran right about here. Alright, we're past the part that can crash. Awesome. Sometimes when you let go of the select menu there, it'll crash. Usually if I'm too slow. Oh, this cutscene's being weird now. Interesting. Okay, so that sequence saved literal minutes in cutscene and just like gameplay that I didn't have to do. I'm not even kidding. There's a lot going on there. So after this, we've got this kind of like buffed enemy that we need to deal with. Ideally, I do this hit list. So similar to like a Zelda game with the Master Sword, your Soul Reaver is maintained until you take damage for the first time. So I'm going to try to bait a whiff and then punish it with a sword attack and then hopefully like stab him for the killing blow. Otherwise, he can like level me very quickly. So once we actually get into this fight proper, it's going to be a little spoopy. So give me just a second here. He's going to throw a projectile attack at me. Oh, he gave me a double projectile. That's really unlucky. Yeah, so he's going to force me back into Spectral. So we'll give that another shot. That's just really unlucky. He usually never gives me... Oh, you jerk. Can you die, please? Thank you. Oh my goodness, get out of the way! Thank you. There we go. So that's the bait I'm looking for into the stab. There we go. So a little unfortunate, but that's what the fight is supposed to look like. This is going to give us one of my favorite abilities in a video game ever, telekinesis. This allows us to go Hadouken and like shoot out a telekinesis blast to push things remotely. It does great damage as well. We're going to make great use of it throughout the rest of this run. But with the Soul Reaver, it fires faster and deals a lot more damage. It's a big part of the reason why we do this section net. Oh, I should probably explain as well. So normally you're supposed to do the boss Zephon second in order to be able to climb specific like walled surfaces. But with the flight glitch, I didn't need to do that, right? And so this will eventually allow us to have telekinesis going into the Zephon fight, which will make that boss way easier. We're going to shift into Spectral Realm before we fall into the water, because it would just force Spectral form anyway. It lets me keep the Soul Reaver. We're going to do a platforming skip right here with a double crouch jump. Again, I can't really do the flight glitch for the most part in the Spectral Realm. So we're going to go ahead and reshift, do another flight glitch. And there's kind of a puzzle in this room where different platforms appear depending on whether you're in the Spectral or Material Realm. And then right here, I'm going to do a breakout into the animation for phasing in the Spectral Realm. Normally, I don't do that too much. But because you're right next to a wall that you need to phase through anyway, it makes kind of some sense there. And we're going to do double jump right there. Into a crouch jump, into a regular jump to skip that moving block puzzle, kind of where you're taught how to use the projectile to move more blocks around. And then we've got a really tricky flight into what was originally the first fly stop setup ever discovered by yours truly. We got a really low angle flight here. Okay. Nice thing too is your speed glitch is preserved through opening doors. There's a bunch of stuff I can talk about in a sec that actually causes your speed glitch to disappear. And that speed glitch is what's enabling me to do all this flying. Okay, here we go. So I probably didn't need to save there, but so proc the flight glitch. There we go. And so I'm going to take this a little safe. This is going to let us fly up and over the drowned cathedral. Get over to this chain. And we've just skipped the entire dungeon, essentially. So there's like a... You save about 30 to 40 seconds there off of not having to watch the area overview cutscene there. But this flight as well also just lets you skip the entire dungeon, essentially. This area is actually really cool in 100% because you basically rush the boss like we just did, and then you go back and clean up all the stuff that you skipped. It's really, really cool, just because of the way the swimming movement works out. So we're going to go ahead and retransform. Again, when you fall into water in the Material Realm, you instantly die. It makes you lose HP. So this is just allowing me to maintain the Soul Reaver going into the Spectral Realm on my own terms. And then we're going to skip some of the platforming here by doing a double crouch jump. Just like that. Nice. Awesome. Pretty good Drowned Cathedral, or Drowned Abbey so far. So I just saw in the chat, somebody is asking why can't you do the glitch in the Spectral Realm for the most part. So the reason is that normally you can't cast spells in the Spectral Realm, and a prerequisite to setting up the flight glitch is to be able to cast the Force Glyph spell. In some situations, in some game states, you actually can do it. And the way you do it is with a glitch called Spectral Flight, where you prime the flight glitch like I do with Fly Stop. So you cancel the animation of the spell cast, then you fall into water to force yourself into the Spectral Realm, and then you take the step forward and activate the speed up glitch. Only then can you get flight in the Spectral Realm. And so because it takes a while to set up, it only has like a couple of distinct use cases in the game. It's mostly used in 100%. Actually, in the Drowned Abbey area, there's an Eldritch Energy upgrade when we kind of like flew over that chasm off to the left. And you're supposed to have the swim upgrade to get it, but you can use Spectral Flight to get it early, and it skips like a minute's worth of backtracking. But yeah, so this fight's pretty straightforward. I'm going to be using my projectile here to hit these stained glass windowed circle things. And this guy's weak to light, so he's just going to die of cringe, and then he'll be taken care of. But I do have to aim here, and it's a little funky aiming with the way this game's controls on keyboard just are. There we go. There's 3. And then I unlock my camera right there. And then, unfortunately, I took a hit there. He might nab me here. There we go. Nice. Okay. Pretty solid fight. And there you have it. That's Rahab. They're going to do another save and quit after this fight. But Shasta, do we have like any more questions from the chat by chance? Is there anything I missed? Or?
There was one thing. I was just asking whether or not which ones were difficult to perform as a run, like this run or like Neopets Darkest Fairy, which you've run before.
Oh, this game 110%. Not that Neopets the Darkest Fairy is a difficult speed game, but this is a really technical run. There's I actually do this all on keyboard. And I have like 2 crouch buttons bound. I have like a bunch of weird stuff for this game. And just getting used to the flight glitch and there's multiple timings of it that can lead to different kinds of results. And you have to like adapt to what kind of flight you get on the fly. And that takes a lot of practice to master. And we'll see that a
Does
lot.
also feel like things are like a bit more punishing too, because like you're skipping a lot of cutscenes, especially. So if you miss something up, you could like get next to like long cutscene or something.
Yeah, exactly.
To the clan territory of your
So you gotta kind of know what you're doing a lot more with this run, especially.
Of course.
with Rahab. You may swim.
So we're heading to Zephon next, and I would say like this is probably the hardest section of the game movement-wise. This is also going to be our last boss before we make our way towards the end game, because we already took care of Duma. And so again, because we don't have flight here, we're in the spectral realm. We're going to be pretty much running and jumping here for a good bit. Again, with no other options available, jumping is the fastest form of movement. But we will get to see another one of those double crouch jumps where, again, we're activating this thing called the breakout glitch, where we're able to run around in first person mode. And then when we let go of the camera buttons, it will cancel whatever animation we're in the middle of. And so we're going to get to see that again here, where you're going to see me do this input again, where it zooms in, and then I can do 2 crouch jumps one after the other by doing a crouch jump, letting go of those camera buttons, and then crouch jumping again. And then I'm also trying to avoid some ledge grabs there as well, because ledge grabs are pretty slow in this game. And then this is where the flight really starts to get ridiculous. There's a lot of vertical coming up in the Silence Cathedral, as it's called. We're just going to go up and over this gap so we don't have to go back into the spectral realm. And then we're doing those wing smash or wing pumps again in order to gain extra speed. And we need the Soul Reaver here in order to get into here. So a big reason why we route Rahab in right after Kain 1 is just because it saves so much dang backtracking. And then we're going to do another cancel of the transform animation into a walking through the gate. A lot of times you don't see me like cancel this animation because you'll kind of get like stuck in place otherwise. It's like really funky. And this is why the movement gets really scary, is those spider vampires are horrifying, frankly. Oh yeah, should be worth mentioning as well, we got the ability to swim from Rahab, which means that water will no longer hurt us anymore, but at this point it really kind of doesn't matter. But we're going to be skipping a lot. The game kind of intends for us to create these air gusts. Oh, I lost my... Oh yeah, that's right, I don't maintain super speed here. What was I thinking? The game doesn't really intend for us to have a flight glitch. Instead, it intends for us to use these air vents to gain height and glide around and stuff. I gotta be really careful not to take damage here, too. I really want my Reaver. So we're gonna just do a big old flight glitch all the way up this tube. And this is gonna hit the load zone, so we don't have to do any of the puzzles here. And then we're also going to be able to skip the puzzles for this entire segment too, which if you've played this section casually before, there's a lot of, again, block pushing, but also some really creative puzzles with like sound and some bell chimes and stuff like that, which we are going to completely ignore by getting up to this ledge right here. That is normally a secret passage to a health upgrade. We're going to snipe this guy and then start our flight. So there's different like types of flight speeds in this game. Oh my good lord, where am I? So I actually clipped through a ceiling there, which can happen if you get a very what I like to call a fast flight, which we can actually kind of start to talk about now. A fast flight is where you get a lot of vertical movement off of the flight into the air. That's where primarily a lot of the speed started coming from when you activated the flight glitch. And so sometimes you want high flights because you want to get up as quickly as possible, but sometimes you want lower flights so that you can land as quickly as possible. And like, to get a different type of height off of your flight glitch requires different timing on all those weird button inputs. So in this example, I ideally want a really quick upward flight to get right into the tunnel. Nice. That is ridiculous to get first try. If your angle isn't perfect there in how you wrap around, you will just bonk around the edge and you'll just miss the tube. For those who have been through this section of the game, just know they have an understanding probably of just how much that skipped. But that puzzle section is a lot, and there's a lot of running back and forth. And this is Zephon, so we are already on our 4th boss for the all bosses category. So this cutscene is also going to look really funny because we maintain super speed into it. So Raziel's going to be like kind of jaunting around a lot faster than he normally does. Your visage becomes you. And so this is why it's also really helpful to have telekinesis coming into this fight, because the way this boss works is that we need to deal damage to those claws hanging from the ceiling in order to get it to spawn an egg that we can then light on fire to then throw back at the boss to set him aflame. And so it is way easier to take care of him with using the projectile than it is with melee attacks. It's very easy to quickly get hit. And you can also dispatch all of the arms at once, which you normally can't because they have to be like lodged into the ground for you to normally hit them. So, got a bit of a fight here. I'm going to just concentrate just to make sure I don't accidentally take a dumb hit, because it is possible sometimes. You must succumb to my will. Instinct. Reflex action. This game's voice acting and cutscenes are just so awesome. This game and Soul Reaver 2 are just peak fiction, as I like to say.
So it is my appetite. Step forward.
Alrighty. Okay, so we're gonna immediately start by running away. Yeah, and with the Soul Reaver specifically, yeah, so we're gonna take the hit here. That's fine, that's not a big deal. We'll get a heal after this fight. I really just wanted the Reaver just to make sure that you get double damage on your telekinesis projectile with the Soul Reaver. So it makes all of those shots a 1-hit instead of a 2-hit per limb. And then we'll get a free heal after this boss fight is over. So one more hit and then we're done with Zephon here. And there you go. He's going to be lit on fire, and he's out of there.
Very nice. Do have some questions from chat, if you don't mind.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, so just simply not asking, what is your favorite thing about this game? Just like I mentioned in general, not just about the speedrun.
What is my favorite thing about this game? I really like some of the optional, like there's just cool areas that you just don't have to go to. And I always love stuff like that. And just like the atmosphere and the world building is just so good. And just the gameplay and the puzzles I really enjoy. I just really enjoy like the puzzles and just like it feels like a Zelda game that isn't a Zelda game to me. And like I really mess with it for that too. Like just some of the puzzle design is really creative. Especially in here. There's some really cool stuff at the lighthouse area that I really enjoy. Alright, so this is like the only time after a boss fight where we're not going to save and quit, because there is a very conveniently placed warp for us that we can make use of right here, and that'll let us warp back to the Abyss Warp instead. And that's all 4 bosses taken care of for the all bosses category, so we can now go ahead and start making our way into the end game here. This is probably, I would argue, the most difficult part of the run, and definitely the scariest. Because we are going to be skipping like all of the puzzles in kind of like the final dungeon area of this game. One more flight glitch for good measure in this tunnel. Thank you for all your help, Abyss Warp. Say thanks, Abyss Warp. Everyone in chat. I don't know.
Thanks, Abyss Warp.
Alright, so we're going to be headed back towards Duma. Normally Duma, like his ability is what allows you to enter this next area. But, I mean, realistically, as long as we have the ability to fly, we can enter that area whenever we want. And then the flight through here will be a little bit... Give me just a second. It's a little bit tricky to get going. There we go. Because it's like, I'm trying to wing smash a little bit here, and you need, like, a lot of height clearance. So we're just going to walk the dog here a little bit. And then you're going to get to see how fast we can really be with this wing smash and stuff. Like, you can just go crazy fast. And then we're going to fly up and over. And that lets us skip having to use constrict there. So Duma completely optional here. And then we're going to go ahead and open this door. One more flight here. And then I'm going to save real quick. Because of any fly stop setup that likes to crash, this is the one that will do it. So we're going to set up fly stop here, use this seam right here to set up time stop. We got it, nice. And so now we're going to be doing something called telestabbing. So I'm going to go ahead and, similar to that block flip warp we did at the very start of the run, I'm going to tab and untab right next to that enemy, which is going to store that I'm standing next to an enemy, and it's also going to store its coordinates. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to come up here and then stab, and that's going to warp me through this door and skip a bunch of puzzles. And then I need to do a frame perfect pause input in order to do a displacement telestab to get me in a wall here. Okay. Take a step, turn. Nice, second try, awesome. That pause is the frame perfect trick, by the way, so I will definitely take that second try. That can be a run killer. And then now we are going to skip even more puzzle. We're gonna go across this loading zone 1, 2, 3. And then this door will also be unloaded because it's an actor. And then we're going to telestab through this door. And then we're going to do a double telestab right after that. So you're also going to see me jump every time I do a telestab just to give me some extra coyote time. And then I'm mashing stab. There we go. This will teleport us past this door. And we're going to go ahead and crawl up to this guy. He's going to be like, ah! And this is going to allow me to set up for another telestab. So this is going to take me to this corner of the room to land on this platform. And there's normally a puzzle here where you have to get a motor running. But instead what I can do is just get up here and jump over it. All right, we got one more telestab that we got to do. We're going to talk to this guy here. And this is going to set up for one more telestab. And then we're going to glide down into a hallway that normally you can only open after some more puzzling. So you see all these blocks, all these puzzles we just don't got to worry about. So we just clip right through just like that. There's going to be this door down here. And I set up fly stop at the very start of this sequence, meaning that I can now zoom through these last couple of hallways here. So I might actually be losing height here, so I definitely am. So I'm gonna go for 2 wing pumps there-ish in order to fly through these hallways. There's normally a cutscene next to each one of these, what I call galaxy doors. So being in time stop here is super, super fast for that. But also flying through here is impossible because the camera cannot handle the amount of speed I have right now. So that was a really clean flight though. That I got through there really fast. And then that just takes us right to the door right in front of Kain. All right, that was a really good endgame gauntlet there. That was, I cannot stress enough how scary that all is. If you mess up certain parts of that sequence, you have to do it all over again from the start. So that's why I made a safety save before going into that.
And Chow's just loving that in 10 gameplay, especially.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. I also just love that every time you do a speedrun, you show up to Kain and he's like, oh, I thought you'd be here sooner. Especially in any percent where it's like a 15 to 20 minute run where it's just like, oh, I hope you'd be here sooner. He's just never impressed by how quickly you get here despite me being here hours before anyone else should be. But yeah,
we're trying, Kain, come on. We're trying to get here faster. What the heck?
We have made our way to the final boss now, aka the opening cutscene to Soul Reaver 2.
Ooh.
Yeah, so they literally did an animated version of this for the opening cutscene to Soul Reaver 2, which is really cool. Or like the demo cutscene.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah. Like I said, we have skipped so much of this game that if you're playing this for the first time on the remaster, this will look brand new to you. This game is so awesome. Please go play it. There's a remaster for both Soul Reaver 1 and Soul Reaver 2 on Steam. Please play them. They're so, so good. We've got a good bit of cutscene here. I'm just going to warn you right now. So I guess for now, I'm just going to go ahead and do some shout-outs. I want to shout out the whole Legacy of Kain speedrunning community. I want to specifically shout out Victus, Tromboncino, A Crispy Taco, Demented Salad, and everyone else in the server. Especially Tromboncino and Victus for helping me to learn this run when there wasn't a lot of great documentation for it, at least initially. I also just want to shout out the entire Legacy of Kain series Discord. It's not just a speedrun Discord, like it is a freaking massive server full of Legacy of Kain fans. that just has like a bunch of like just lore heads and artists and just fans of the series. Bunch of cool people in there. If you're interested in joining that, if you go to speedrun.com and look for the Legacy of Kain series, under any one of those games, there should be a Discord link. If you're having trouble finding it, let me know. Just DM me, and I can toss you a link as well. If you're just looking for more people to bond over this game with, or any of these games in the series, like feel free to make use of that. But yeah, we are kind of heading into the final boss bit here, if you will. So we've got Peak Fiction going on, as well as my favorite song in the game as well. This is kind of the music I play to hype myself up before doing runs. I'm not even joking. It's just
Hey, show as well too to the video made in this game as well.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, because that video was really cool. You put a lot of effort to that.
Yeah, that's
so
right.
make sure
So
to see it.
I forgot.
Yeah.
I did do a video on this game actually. So I've been working on YouTube content, and I did a video talking about that fly stop thing I was talking about throughout this run was actually a pretty recent discovery, and I made a video going over like the details of how it works, how it was discovered, and like how it really kind of shaped and impacted the run. And you can find that on my YouTube channel if you're interested in some more dessert Legacy of Kain content after this. My YouTube is just Jaxler. Should be able to find me there. Starting to work on YouTube content for kind of like cult classics and underground games that don't get enough love. Right now, I'm in the middle of a really long project about Neopets: The Darkest Fairy, which is a really cool game. And one day I will get that video done, I swear to God.
I believe in you.
Yeah. And lastly, you can find me on Twitch at twitch.tv/Jaxler1. I stream speedruns of a bunch of different games, like Soul Reaver 1. I also know the Soul Reaver 2 Remastered run. That's a really funny one if you've never seen it. But this run is about to come to an end. 3 hits to kill Kain, just like we saw with the first encounter with him, but he's going to spawn in some different spots. As long as I don't move until I hear him teleport, he's going to be in the same spot every time, and then time is going to come up on final hit. So get, not this hit, but the one after. There we go. One more hit, and then on final hit is when we call time. Get ready. And time.
GG.
All right, GG's. That was Soul Reaver 1, everybody. Like I said, I've been Jaxler. You can find me at twitch.tv/Jaxler1. This game is so cool. If you're interested in learning the run or remaster as well, go check out the Legacy of Kain Discord. Let me know if you need help finding it. This has been a great time. Shasta, thank you for having me on your show again. I freaking love this run. If you want to see more of this again, twitch.tv/Jaxler1. I also run the 100% category for this game, which is ridiculously fun. It is one of my favorite. The 100% run for this game is one of my favorite categories in speedrunning ever. It's one of my favorite speedruns. Shasta, do you know what my final time was?
If I'm seeing it correctly, about 1 hour and 19 seconds.
That was an hour flat? Bruh.
Yeah.
That's crazy, because this run was not that great. For missing the block insta-kill thing at the start.
That just shows your potential, honestly.
Yeah. This game has a lot to go, and I'm so excited to keep pushing it, so... yeah, thank you for everyone who showed up to the show tonight. Yeah, feel free to follow me there on Twitch and on YouTube, youtube.com/t/Jaxler. All of those sibilances are messing with me right now, but yeah, I think that's going to be the end of this show, but I think we have another show coming up right after, correct me if I'm wrong.
We do indeed. We have Parallel Universe right after this with our host, Limey. We're having Elden Ring Night Raid on.
Ooh.
Looks like some bingo and Enhanced Night Lord as well. Stick around for that if you want to see some cool Elden Ring. But yeah, that being said, that's the end of Do All the Things tonight. Thank you all for being here, especially for this SGDQ backup run sort of show. Can you believe all these runs around backup at SGDQ? They're all so damn cool. Holy crap. Keep on submitting, y'all. That's why I say. Just keep on submitting until these runs get in, because oh my goodness. These are so cool. But yeah, that being said, we did conclude Do All the Things tonight, so thank y'all for being here. I'll be back in 2 weeks from now from another show of mine, but meantime, scrap Parallel Universe.